The UIL State Football Championship is brought to you by State Farm, proud sponsor of the UIL Championship Series. Moments ago, we were inside the Pearland Oiler locker room. Let's listen in.
Here we go, man. We got 48 minutes to play and a lifetime to remember. You've earned this at one step at a time. You've taken 15 steps up that ladder. But we said it's a 16-step ladder. You got one more step to take. One more step to take. Take it with all your heart. Take it with all your brains. Take it with all your passion. And guys, have your strength amongst each other. Take your strength from each other. This is 48 minutes to play, like I said at the beginning, and a lifetime to remember. Play with guts. Play it with love. Play with love of each other. Lifetime memories right here. Go win your butts a state championship. Yes, we can. Yes, we will.
An emotional locker room for Pearland. They are happy to be here, but they want that hardware, and the full force of the Oiler Nation has arrived at Cowboys Stadium here in Arlington. They are excited, and so are the Trojans from Trinity High School. Let's take you down to the sidelines. Check in with Joe Gunn.
All right, Randy, we're here with Coach Lineweaver. Coach Lineweaver, a couple of weeks ago in the same building, you said to me you were going to sort of lighten up on using Brandon Carter. You said the week before he had done just about everything, and you wanted to give him a little break. Of course, he was the game winner that night, and that fourth down and that long run. He saved the day, 37-35. So they also say you dance with the one who brung you. Is this a game that you unleash Brandon Carter?
Well, yeah, all bets are off now. He can rest next week.
That's exactly right. Coach, we look forward to a great game.
Thank you. Thank you.
Randy, back to you.
All right, Joe, thank you. Appreciate that. Steve Lineweaver doing a great job with that Trinity program for the last decade, really. I mean, you look at his numbers, Shay, just incredible. 3 state championships since 2005. They win, and they win big.
Well, and looking to get off the odd year and win one in 2010. 05, 07, 09. And really in spectacular fashion. Randy, you go back to last year's game. I'm telling you right now, look, it was third and about 8 yards to go. And everybody was expecting Trinity to run the ball and try to get it down in field goal position so they could kick a tying field goal, which Westlake had secured on their first possession in overtime. And instead, he throws the 9 route down to Brandon Carter, who goes up and just makes a spectacular play to win the game. And that's really Steve Lineweaver's reputation. I mean, he rolls the dice, riverboat gambler, Steve, they call him a lot, and he's earned the reputation, but he has certainly developed a great program at Euless Trinity, and they continue to win championships.
Coin toss at midfield. We'll see how that turned out.
Shake hands, man, let's play football.
Steve Lineweaver, and speaking with him this week, awfully impressed with the talent Pearland brings. He went over the Katy Tigers to get here. They played before a little over 40,000 people. Pearland and Katy back at Rice Stadium a couple of weeks ago. Let's take a look now at the now famous Haka dance. At least Trinity's version of the Haka dance.
Well, they've adopted it.
They've put their own little twist to it.
Yep, New Zealand rugby team started it. They've adopted it. Kind of put their own little special flavor on it.
Some of the Pearland players aware of it. Most of them said, we're here to play football, not dance.
That's right. But it's good for the players and kind of just get a little bit of that emotional energy out. And I'll tell you this, man,
nice
players are superstitious now.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
So Dylan Nowak will kick off for the Pearland Oilers. First up, Brandon Carter. There he is, number 10. Back to receive for the Trinity Trojans.
Well, Randy, and you take a look at how important Brandon Carter is to this team. He is the deepest guy. The only guy back, single guy right there in the middle of the field. Everybody else on the 20-yard line. Wants to make sure there's no confusion, and if it goes deep, he's going to be the one to get it.
It's a short kick, fielded right there at the 35-yard line. Good coverage there by Pearland. See who was on the other end there, number 23. That was Matt Hawkins fielding that kickoff. So Trinity Trojans will begin here on offense. Pearland on defense. Get this 5A Division I state championship underway. Guess we'll see that quite a bit tonight. You got a guy like Brandon Carter back there, Shay. You want to avoid him at all costs, don't you?
Well, you do, but I mean, you think about it, it's kind of the working with what you don't want to know. You see Brandon Carter back under center now to start the game.
First carry of the night goes to Tevin Williams for Trinity. Pickup of 1 yard. Let's take a look at the 4 starting lineups now. The offensive line. Dylan Dillard, your center. He's a junior. You got 3 juniors on that front line for Trinity. Terrence Tucson expected to get plenty of carries tonight. And Brandon Carter, the receiver, you're going to see him in all formations as well. Under snap there to start the game. Now Lahi Kautai, your starting quarterback, normally back in there for Trinity. Handoff, that's Terrence Tucson. Adds a few more yards. For defense now, starting lineups. Sam Ukawachu, the defensive end. Keep an eye on him, very active. The other defensive end, Tyler Hilaire for Pearland. Kendall Ehrlich, one of your inside linebackers, Juan Trujillo. Both of those guys make a lot of plays out there. In your secondary, Miles Knipes, your safety. You'll also see him on the offensive side. 3rd down and 3 now. Coming up for Trinity. Brandon Carter in there, pitch out to Tevin Williams. Leaps over one tackler, and he is down the sideline for more. All the way to the house. Tevin Williams and the Trinity touchdown.
Ready to make this play go. You have Brandon Carter rolling out to the right on a straight option play, and you'll see right here he's going to draw 2 defenders. As he draws those 2 defenders, he pitches the ball out to Tevin Williams, who does an amazing vertical over the top of the defender, maintains his balance and legs it in for the touchdown.
Extra point attempt. Kick is up, and the kick is good, and it's a 7-0 lead. 55-yard run. Take a look at it again. Miles Knipes actually sliding a little bit and went down, and Tevin Williams was already in midair, so that didn't help the cause at all, but he takes it to the house.
But take a look at the 2 defenders again that come on and take Brandon Carter out of the play. As soon as he does that, he makes the pitch, and Tevin Williams does the rest. Acrobatic moves going up over the top, and nice highlight reel of the first drive for the Trinity Trojans.
So 7-0, the Trojans strike first. 55-yard run from Tevin Williams, 6 foot and 191-pound senior. Went over 1,000 yards, nearly 1,200 yards this year for Trinity. He and Terrence Tucson, great 1-2 punch in the backfield this season.
Tucson missed last year with a knee injury. Now that he's back, obviously adds to the firepower of the Trojan offense.
So Tyler Orwig will kick off for Trinity. Daquan Roberts is back for Pearland. And it's fielded there by number 21, Marquis Sandals. Tries to turn the corner, and he is knocked out of bounds there, and Pearland will begin their first offensive series. Munoz with the stop for Trinity. Trey Anderson, starting quarterback. You see his numbers. Fantastic season for Tony Heath Ball Club. 2,705 yards, 24 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions this year. He's got to protect the football tonight, Chip.
Well, absolutely. It's vital that he do that. And I think it's really important right now at this stage of the game, with Trinity seemingly getting in the end zone fairly easy. Be nice for the Oilers to see if they can't take some time off the clock, get a little drive going, and hit some offensive continuity themselves.
Jonathan Yinga there with the stop. Let's take a look at the forward starting lineups. The offensive line of Mulligan, Johnson, Hoffpower, Sanchez, and Daniel Weiskopf Davila. Dustin Garrison, monster season. Miles Knipes, one of their top receivers as well for Pearland. Pick up of 2 there, second down and 8. Trey Anderson dumps it out. That's Miles Knipes. Kaneko Thomas, the strong safety with the stop for Trinity. Take a look at these defensive starting lineups, brought to you by Ford as well. For Trinity, Juarez Young, Masambuco is the big guy up front on that defensive line. Yinga, Nance, and Leota, outstanding linebacking core for Trinity. And there's your secondary. Moakiola, your safety. Third down and 3 now for Pearland. Down 7-0 early.
Not going to make it, Randy.
No.
Black shirts for the Trojan defense come up.
Dustin Garrison on that reception, but good coverage there all the way around from Trinity.
Jimmy Granberry looked like he was in kind of getting around the legs to make sure he was not going to give up that first down.
So 3 and out for Pearland. Brandon Carter back to receive this punt for Trinity around his own 40-yard line. Already up 7-0. Trey Anderson with the punt. Good bounce. Inside the 25-yard line, around the 24. Excellent punt for Trey Anderson, the quarterback. 49 yards on that punt. And Trinity will take over their second possession of this football game. We're coming right back. Trinity leading Pearland 7-0.
That's all things State Farm, where you get your support of Texas high school athletics. Thanks to Body Sports for providing their protection for Eagle and football for this year's UIL championship.
The UIL State Football Championship is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Check out the 2011 Ford F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. By Academy Sports and Outdoors, the right stuff, the low price, every day. By DQ, for the best tasting treats, eats, and drinks in Texas. DQ just tastes better. And by Right Guard, proud supporters of Texas high school football. Trinity Trojans, Pearland Oilers underway. 5A Division I state championship. Trinity already with the big strike from Tevin Williams on their first series of 55 yards to get on the scoreboard. That's Terrence Tucson on the carry as well. Trinity going to attack this running game and be aggressive with it against this Pearland defense.
Well, and that's what they like to do. These teams are almost mirror images of each other, Randy. When you think about what they do is again, it's rugged, rough style, rough and tumble defense in the front seven. Very aggressive people on the corners. Safeties come up and lay a lick on you, but offensively, trying to run the ball and making sure you establish that run between the tackles. Brandon Carter is kind of the wild card for this Trojan offense so far.
Tevin Williams.
Tevin Williams, number 7, finishing off with a strong run.
8 yards on that pickup for Tevin Williams. Well, you look at this offensive line for Trinity. The weights, 251, 280, 231, 269, 292. Big guys up front clearing some space. Brandon Carter again back there. Pressured a little bit, eludes the tackle, makes the completion there, and they'll pick up a few yards. He bought some time before he found Garland Rader. Sam Ukawachu with the tackle for Pearland. Pickup of 16. That's got to be frustrating because they had Brandon Carter tied back there.
Well, they had him tied back there, but you'll get a look at what makes Brandon Carter so difficult to defend. You see the open field moves there, and that just all that does is allow the receiver time to get open and stay open, and it really made it very difficult. I mean, it was a great play. Pearland had all the right moves and put themselves in the right position. Tyler Heller was doing everything that he could do and everything that he needed to do on Brandon Carter, except Brandon Carter was able to escape at the last second and complete the pass downfield.
Carry there by Jonathan Brown, junior wide receiver for Trinity. Pickup of 6 yards on that play. Daquan Roberts with the stop there for Pearland.
A nice job of stringing that play out, not letting it get more yards, even though they picked up 5.
Well, when they shuffle in Brandon Carter, bring in Lahi Kautai, you got so many weapons on offense, you can understand why it really keeps defenses thinking out there. And the carry there by number 42, Sergey Nuka. He's a senior. 9 yards on that pickup. So Steve Lineweaver really mixing it up on that lineup tonight. Jonathan Hardy with the stop there for Pearland. Big space right up the middle. 9 tough yards there for Nuke. Tucson, he's got room. Daquan Roberts once again after a 15-yard pickup. So they're moving down in big chunks here.
Well, they are. The big guys up front. You see the pulling guard, number 72, Julius Kautai, goes out and takes out 2 Oiler defenders as he pulls around, and that creates the running lane. Nice job up front by the men. You see a lot of black jerseys leaning on white jerseys. And the running backs picking their ways through the holes.
Good job. Tevin Williams, not much there. Barely gets to the 15-yard line. Kendall Ehrlich helped making the stop. Daryl Jimerson there as well for Pearland.
Daquan Roberts did a nice job of getting to Tevin Williams as he was catching the pitch. Changed his direction, forced him back inside.
Gain on the play. Second down for the
Total yards so far, Trinity, 115 and counting. Still plenty of time left here in the first quarter. Flag is down. We'll see if that's all about.
Prior to the snap, ball start on the offense, 5 yards, remain second down.
They'll move it back 5. Steve Lineweaver relaying the information to his troops out there. 5:20 and counting here, first quarter. 7-0 Trinity, but they are knocking on the door again. So far offensively having their way with this Pearland defense. Lahi Kautai in there as well. Takes a handoff to Carter. Kautai keeps it inside the 15-yard line down to the 13.
Nice job of the defense not going with Brandon Carter and staying at home, limiting the run by Cal Tide to just a couple of yards.
Picked up on the play by number 37, Chris Alexander. Ball at the 15-yard line.
Third down and 11 now. Big third down play coming up for Trinity. Pearland needing a stop. The Pearland crowd showing their support for their sideline. In the shotgun is Brandon Carter. Scrambling, looking for space. He's not going to get it. He's brought down at the 18-yard line. Billy Messenger, number 99, with the stop, the senior.
You talk about an outstanding effort by Messenger. You'll see him on this backside. This is what you call staying home, keeping those shoulders square, forcing Brandon Carter back to the inside where he loses his feet. Messenger maybe didn't get a big hit on Carter, but he certainly stopped him from picking up a first down or possibly more. That's exactly how you want to play that defensive end position.
Field goal attempt coming up. Tyler Orwig, 37-yarder. Snap is good. The kick is up. And the kick is no good. Wide right. Tyler Orwig only had 4 field goals all season, so not a lot of opportunities, and misses there on the 37-yarder. And Pearland takes over. Everybody high-fiving Billy Messenger for that stop. We're going to go to break. 3:33 to go. 3:38 to go. First quarter, 7-0. Trinity leads Pearland. Where's that drink? Perfect. Thank you, though. What's that?
The memory of the memory of a game. The first time in 20 years we won district, and I could remember after the last play, everybody in the stands ran on the field, and it's a memory. It's something that you can't express to anybody, and the feeling that. The memory of a game. The first time in 20 years we won district, and I could remember after the last play, everybody in the stands ran on the field, and it's a memory. It's something that you can't express to anybody, and the feeling that you felt that night. It's almost you changed the whole community. The culture in that town changed because of that game.
Well, Dat Wynn sharing his memories from a great career at Rockport Fulton High School down near Corpus Christi. Of course, on to Texas A&M and a solid NFL career as well. Appreciate him sharing those high school memories with us. Pearland takes over now. Their second series of this football game. They held here. Trinity was knocking on the door, but they held them without a point. But right now, let's take you down to the sidelines. Check in with Ahmad Brooks.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate you. We are now joined by Agency Vice President, Mr. Mike Hargis, who's here to share a word, of course, about our faithful sponsors, of course, State Farm. And you all have done so much, of course, for high school football in Texas. What has motivated you to be involved?
Well, State Farm is very involved in communities all across the state because we have 1,560 agents, so we're located in every community.
And we also understand that future employees and future agents for us are going to come from these high schools after those kids go on to college. So we want to promote scholarship, we want to promote competition, and we don't believe there's a better venue than athletics and band and cheerleading and drill team for kids to learn teamwork, learn leadership, in addition to their academic studies. So we believe that it's a great value to the communities for the spirit. I mean, take a look around. You know, these communities think this is a big deal. So we want to support high school athletics, high school competition, and high school academic excellence.
Let's talk about that education. You also do some things to support these high school athletes. Of course, further their education. In addition to that, you have some scholarship programs we'd love to hear about.
Well, thanks, Ahmad. Yeah, we do. We have the Texas Scholar Athlete Program. And every week, the guidance counselors across Texas nominate these kids. So they've got to be excellent students as well as performers on the athletic fields or courts. It's boys and girls sports, and we give a $1,000 scholarship every week. So this year, we'll give over $50,000. We've given over $250,000 in the last 5 years to the students as they're recognized for them to go on to school with. In addition to that, we have a $100,000 program this year for the bands across Texas. It's called Original Score, and they do an original score to compete for this large pot of money. And the bands have never had anybody sponsor anything like that before, so they're really excited about that scholarship money to be available for kids to go on to big schools like Texas and Texas A&M, and in smaller schools across the state like Texas State and others that are not small anymore. They're growing, but all the schools in Texas are pretty big.
Of course, State Farm's efforts are admirable, and as they say, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there for high school football. Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you, Ahmad. Appreciate it. During that interview, Pearland unable to move the chains. They punt away, and first carry, that's Terrence Toussaint. 6 yards on that pickup. Brandon Carter back in there at quarterback as well. Rotation with Lahi Kautai. Back on Dat Win there, Shea, sharing the memories, and as you're talking about, he's now coaching on the college level at Texas A&M.
Yeah, he's coaching linebackers for Tim DeRuiter, and this is the first year for A&M to be in a 3-4 defense. And hard to think of there being a better coach than Dat Win to be back at Texas A&M and doing what he's doing.
Big pickup there by 42, Sergey Nuka.
Referees are marking the ball down. The whistle had blown. You see him going to the spot where he hit the ground. Whistles weren't loud enough. Hey, this is the big crowd in here. There's a lot of noise. It's hard to hear the whistles on the field, but take a look here as Terrence Toussaint finishes the run. Excuse me. It's not Toussaint. It's Sergey Nuke. Yeah.
He's had a couple of carries tonight. Not bad for a guy that's not even on there too deep that were given to us. He's getting some early carries.
Well, it's tough enough on these officials, and as you know, there's no replay in high school football, so the play on the field is called. That's the way it goes. They ruled that he was down before the ball came loose. So Euless Trinity retains possession. I'll tell you, you've seen a couple of times here, Randy, where this Oiler defense has really stiffened up a little bit, and they're getting penetration and not quite making the plays that they need to make, but they're close to being in the right position.
Brandon Carter on the move at about the 50-yard line, off balance. Still gets that pass off. Looking for Nyla Casatati. Overthrows him, but not a bad attempt. He was on the move through off balance.
Well, Brandon Carter is just so dynamic and athletic. It's very, very hard to control or contain him when he's out in open space. But to force him to make throws like that on the run, almost being acrobatic, is what you need to do in the Oiler defense. Definitely did that, and he put the ball too high over the intended receiver.
Pearland defense trying to make another stop. 3rd and 12 right now. They'll mark it on the 45-yard line of the Oilers. Handoff in a reverse. Brandon Carter, he's in trouble, tries to get loose, and he's brought down back near the line of scrimmage.
Well, double reverse pass, trying to get the ball out to Tevin Williams, who snuck out, but the Oiler defense stayed at home. Talk about watching some tape. Defensive coordinator Mark Knotts making sure that they were ready for this trick play. And you can see Brandon Carter, he gets stymied back there, tries to make something out of nothing, able to pick up a positive yard or two, but still nowhere near getting to the first down.
Number 37, Chris Alexander, a little emotional after that stop.
Yeah. That's a big play. Credit that Oilers secondary for staying at home on that double reverse. Uh-oh. Pearland didn't have enough guys on the field. Tony Heath runs down and calls a timeout before the snap. That's the quickest Tony's moved in a long time.
Yeah, he sprinted about 20 yards, I think. I don't know what his time was in that, but it was pretty impressive.
Pearland.
So timeout Pearland, 4th and 13. Trinity ready to punt it away.
Well, there was a guy that was going to run on late for the Oilers, and wasn't sure if that was too many on the field, not enough on the field. Coach Heath wisely getting down the field to the official to make sure that he had the timeout before the snap.
A little shout out to Pearland offensive coordinator Jeremy Beeson. Interesting story here, Shay. He did not travel with the team yesterday. His wife is due. His wife Natalie due any minute now, literally any minute. So he flew up from the Houston area today, and last we heard, she's still waiting. So he's here coaching a football game, and I know she's watching tonight. And Tony Heath said he'll be joining us here today.
Yep, nobody back. Take a look. No punt returner. Good job, the camera crew catching that. Making sure, and again, Coach Heath doing the right thing. But right now, you want to make sure at a minimum you fair catch the ball at the 10-yard line. Certainly don't go back inside the 10, and if you have an opportunity to pick up a couple yards on the return, try to get off your own goal line.
They'll let that one roll inside the 20-yard line, down around the 17, 18-yard line, and Pearland's offense will take over once again.
Actually touched the ball around the 22, Randy, so that'll
give him an extra few yards.
Yep, that'll move the line of scrimmage up.
24-yard punt for Trinity. So far, not much going offensively for Pearland. 12 seconds left here in the first quarter. Those fans all decked out, having a good time here tonight at Cowboys Stadium in Arlington. Excellent crowd. You look around here, Shay, this is slowly filled up. I mean, this is a big stadium. It could hold up to 100,000 people. Not near that here tonight, but all three levels here full of fans for this nightcap 5A D1 championship game. Very impressive here tonight.
That bottom deck is completely full.
Yeah,
great sight and a great
venue. Not a seat to be had there.
Yeah.
All right, into the first quarter. We're going to take a break with them. Trinity with an early strike. They lead 7-0 over Pearland as we head to quarter number 2.
Woohoo! Man. Six, 3, 5.
All right, welcome back. Cowboy Stadium here in Arlington, set to start quarter number 2. Trinity Trojans up 7-0 over Pearland. When you look at yardage in that first quarter, Trinity dominated. But Shea, you're only down 7 if you're Pearland. Made a couple of stops, and you're in pretty good shape right now. Need some offensive look.
Other than that first drive by Trinity, the Orland defense has stiffened and has made the going relatively tough for the Trojan offense. But as you said, Randy, they got to get Dustin Garrison off and see if they can't create some seams and get him into the open field and put a little bit of pressure on that Trojan defense if they want to stay in this game.
Well, this defensive line so solid for Trinity. Hard to run the football. You got to be able to throw the football as well. Tony, he says to try to compete with these guys. They'll try to mix that up a little bit. Trey Anderson gets out of the pocket, right up the middle, takes a hit, crosses the 30-yard line.
I tell you what, when you see that one white shirt, Trey Anderson running, and he's in the middle of all the black shirts, take a listen to this, Randy. Those are some big slabs of beef flowing around there in black jerseys.
That was Jonathan Yinga laying that hit on Trey Anderson. 6-yard pickup, though, for the senior quarterback.
But more importantly for Pearland, moves the chains.
Pass complete over the middle. That's Dustin Garrison. Out of the backfield, 21-yard pickup.
Take a look at Trey Anderson executing a pump fake to perfection. Looks off to his left. I mean, he goes with the full-blown pump fake. We'll take a look here. Look at him. He's going to look off to his left, makes the pump fake, and then throws a dart right down the middle. Exactly what you have to do. Put the balls right on the number. Garrison takes a shot, hangs onto the ball. That's a good offensive play for Pearland.
Eliu Mokiala on the coverage for Trinity, but not after a 21-yard pickup. And then Dustin Garrison breaks free down the right side. He's got room and out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. They'll mark it at the 18.
Randy, when we were talking to Tony Heath earlier this week, he was telling us about Dustin Garrison and what it is that he does so well, and he talked about his patience and his vision. Take a look here as he goes off to the left and then the cut back to the right. See him switch the ball over to the outside arm. That's the signs of a very mature, very accomplished running back, and Dustin Garrison made a nice play for the Oilers on that one.
30-yard pickup there for Dustin Garrison. 40 so far in the ball game tonight. Pearland trying to get something out of this drive. There's Anderson over the middle. Short dump off. That's Cole Stout, his tight end. Stout, a junior, 200-pounder. Kaneko Thomas, Des Richardson in on the stop. 12 yards for the Oilers.
Trey Anderson doing a really nice job. He's not putting too much air. He knows he's got to get the ball in tight to these receivers because the swarming defense from Euless Trinity is going to lay a lick on him, so he makes sure that he gets it in tight.
Dustin Garrison, extra effort, and Garrison is in for the touchdown. A bounce-back drive for Pearland, capped off by Dustin Garrison. He had several big runs on this drive, and he finishes from 6 yards out.
Wow. What an amazing job by the holder, Austin Lodge. He fielded the ball, Randy. It was behind him. He goes back, he reaches across his body behind him.
It's amazing Nowak was able to get that one off.
Take a look. Take a look right here. Look, the ball's completely behind him, and he still has a presence to not only catch it, but get it on the tee. My gosh. Outstanding job.
All right, we're going to take a break. Dustin Garrison ties things up with Trinity. Pearland and Trinity all even early in the second quarter. Find out who's back to safety. The UIL State Football Championship is brought to you by State Farm, proud sponsor of the UIL Championship Series. Well, there's Dustin Garrison on the bench. Excellent drive for the senior running back for Pearland, and finishes it off, Jay, with a tough 6-yard run.
Great job on the camera, guys. Look, you see Garrison lowering his shoulder right here at about the 5-yard line. Now watch as he comes through. He's going to take a shot, but he's already moving on that little spin move to make sure that gets him into the end zone. And that's what makes this guy so incredibly tough to stop. And just what a very physical run by Dustin Garrison.
7 plays, 79 yards on that drive, 2:08 off the clock. And again, 6-yard touchdown run for Dustin Garrison to tie things up here. 5A Division I state championship. Dylan Nowak will kick it off for Pearland. And caught there near the 35-yard line, and that's where the Trinity Trojans will begin on offense. They are staying away from Brandon Carter on the kickoffs. Right now, let's toss it down to the sidelines. Check in with Joe Gunn.
Well, Randy Shea, earlier in the game before this one, we introduced you to Christopher Winbush. He is the winner of a contest we had on our Fox High School Road Tour called Get Mic'd Up. Out of 1,000 people, more than 1,000 people, in 26 games, he is our winner. He was chosen by a panel of judges. And Christopher, on behalf of Fox Sports and our presenting sponsors, $1,000. You can now say that you are a paid broadcaster. How does it feel?
It feels real good. First of all, thank you to Fox Sports Southwest and all the sponsors that had this going on for the 26 weeks or whatever. And it was a great deal. Thank you very much. And to the next year's winner, it could be you. It can happen.
All right, we appreciate it. You just made in 1.5 games what Randy has made all day. How does that feel?
That feels pretty good. And Randy and Shay up there, keep doing a good job. I like what y'all doing, and hope to join y'all one of these days.
There we go. All right, guys, back up to you.
Outstanding job.
Great job.
You betcha.
Hey, in the earlier game, he actually pulled it off on the spot. Made a couple of calls there, man.
Yeah, he was on it. He was on it.
Knew his stuff, no doubt about it. Brandon Carter. Under center again, hands off. That is Tevin Williams crossing the 50. Jonathan Hardy with the stop there for Pearland, pick up 4 yards. So Tevin Williams carrying the load tonight along with Terrence Tucson. A nice 1-2 punch. Both are seniors for Trinity. Tevin number 7, Terrence Tucson number 2. Both well over 1,000 yards. And together they've combined for 37 touchdowns this season.
Just a dominant running game by the Trojans. That is their M.O.
That's a pitch out to Tevin Williams, and the Oilers read that well. Kendall Ehrlich leading the charge for the Pearland defense.
Well, and Sam Wachiku comes up and really forces Tevin Williams back to the inside. Actually, check that. That's number 6, not number 96. John Gibberman comes up from that outside linebacker position and forces Williams back to the inside. And that's what you have to do with these explosive backs. You've got to pinch him out. Do not let him make the corner. Force him back to the inside where that defense will come in and catch up to him. Slow him down a little bit.
3rd down and 10 now. They will mark it at the 47-yard line. Brandon Carter. Flags down, whistles blow. Let's see what the call is.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense. 5 yards, remains 3rd down.
Little movement there from Trinity. They'll move it back 5 more. And now they're looking at a 3rd and 15 play. Brandon Carter, number 10, great wide receiver. Of course, seen a lot of duty as well as quarterback, played defensive back. He can do it all, and he is verbally committed to play for Oklahoma.
Well, and he's also extremely dangerous in the return game as well, both in the punt return and kickoff returns.
Here's Carter trying to follow his blockers. He got 3 of them in front of him. Missed tackle right there. He gets loose, and he'll take it inside the 35-yard line. Great blocking initially, then he eludes a tackle, and finally shoved out of bounds by Jesse Rayford.
There you go, 3rd down and 15. You talk about the athleticism. Look at the stop on a dime move. Goes through 2 arm tackles, sets up another good block to get down the field, and Not done yet. Goes down far enough to pick up the first down, and that was big, Randy. 3rd and 15.
Pickup of 23 big yards for Brandon Carter.
Get the ball in the hands of your playmaker, and that's what he does for this Trojan team.
4 carries, almost 30 yards already for Carter. Hand off, Terrence Toussaint. He's got space. He'll carry 2 defenders with him for an additional 3 to 4 yards. That's 12 yards on that carry for Terrence Toussaint.
Juan Trujillo was in position to make a hit, but Terrence Toussaint very nimbly kind of dashes to his left. He's able to pick up positive yards.
Sergey Nuque with the carry, his 3rd of the night. 3 yards on that pickup. Juan Trujillo with the stop there for Pearland. So far tonight out of the backfield, and the changes at quarterback between Lahi Kautai and Brandon Carter. In the backfield, you're seeing Toussaint, Williams, and Sergey Nuque as well. Toussaint again, following the lead block from his fullback, Paul Tuipulotu. Kendall Ehrlich with the stop for Pearland. Pick up of 3 more.
Well, this is really just a very unselfish team, the Trinity Trojans. As you see, Randy, they substitute in freely. Nobody's worried about getting the credit. They're concerned about moving the chains, putting points on the board, and winning games.
It's just a constant rotation, isn't it?
Yeah, and got a lot of great athletes, keeping these guys fresh. Very strong, athletic offensive line. Tough combination.
Makes the handoff to Toussaint. Carter keeps, and he's going to be brought down. Nice open field tackle there by Charleston Higginbotham, who comes up from the right corner slot to make the stop.
Yeah, I like that now. Charleston Higginbotham, this very rarely will you see a guy bring Brandon Carter down so convincingly in the open field. I mean, he's made guys miss in a lot less space than that. And Higginbotham, you got to keep your head up. You see how he's got his eyes up? That's textbook. You got to see what you're hitting, or hit what you're seeing. Making sure that you're doing that. Higginbotham did a nice job there.
Higginbotham making the stop. Now it's field goal time for Trinity from Tyler Orwig. It is up, and it is good for Trinity. So Pearland holds, keeps him out of the end zone, but Orwig adds the field goal. And Trinity now leads 10-7 here in the 2nd quarter. And now a word from Ford, a proud sponsor for the UIL Championships.
The security guy is leading right now. Lower level. Hall of Fame level. What section? Seat 100. Give me a minute and a half. I know, and the guy I'm with didn't know, so. Hey. Section 103, lower level. Is that what this is? Yeah, lower level section. How do I get over here?
You have to go out here, go back up the stairs. Up the stairs? You have to go to the
I
main.
can't climb over for an interview?
No, they won't let you.
Oh, okay. How long is the walk? About how many? 2 minutes. Okay, he said give me 2 minutes, I'll be in that section.
Once again, congratulations to Hill High School for the 5A Division II football state championship.
All right, thank you, Rick. Welcome back, Cowboy Stadium here in Arlington. 5:28 to go here in the second quarter. Tyler Orwig has added a field goal, and Trinity, the Trojans, now lead Pearland 10-7. And they strike early in that first series of the football game when Tevin Williams streaked 55 yards to the house for the first touchdown of the night. Dustin Garrison tied it with a 6-yard score, and then Orwig finishes off 36-yard field goal, 9-play, 48-yard drive. Ate up just over 4.5 off the clock. Short kick, and they'll field it there at the 21-yard line. That's where the Pearland Oilers will take over. Down 3 here in the second quarter. Fielded there by number 15, Dominic Rabago. And Trey Anderson and company. Try to match what they did on their last drive when they marched down the field. Impressive drive, Shea. They found some opportunities to work it through the air and on the ground and balanced it well in that drive.
Well, I think the passing game is what opened up the running game for him. And again, Trey Anderson was just pinpoint perfect making those passes.
Dustin Garrison with the carry. It's a 3-yard pickup. Trying to ride behind that right side of that offensive line. Trey Anderson, senior, 5'11", 180-pounder, only 4 interceptions all season. Really did a great job of protecting the football. And threw for 24 touchdowns, over 2,700 yards through the air. Second down and 7 now. Anderson complete across the 35-yard line. That's Sam Okawachu. Also plays defensive end for the Oilers.
Yeah, so you'll recognize that name, Okawachu, from playing defensive end, but also had that monster catch against Katy.
Sure did.
In the quarterfinals.
Into the game to beat the Katy Tigers very late at Rice Stadium a couple of weeks ago. He's 6'5", 210 pounds. He's being recruited as well. Garrison tripped up near the 40-yard line by Brian Nance. Talk a little bit about Dustin Garrison here, Shea. A guy, the numbers speak for themselves. Over 2,700 yards. He's 5'8", 175 pounds, and you know he's not getting a lot of calls right now. But I think he's opened a lot of eyes during this playoff run. For those that weren't believers, they may be now.
Well, it's one of those things that you see when guys don't necessarily fit the profile. He may not fit the profile, but when you talk about heart and you talk about playmaking ability, you can't necessarily measure that by height and weight. Dustin Garrison, of course, has made a huge contribution to this Pearland Oiler team over the last couple of years, and his impact has been definitely felt, and certainly his play has put them in a position to win a state championship.
Steve Limeweaver has been at Trinity High School since 2000. And what a run he has had. Titles in 2005, 2007, and 2009. A lot of people don't remember before he came to Trinity, he was at Commerce, spent 7 years at Commerce High School from 1993 to 1999. He had 1 state championship and made it to the finals on 3 different occasions, and he told me on the phone, he said, problem is we ran into a pretty good team. They were called Sealy.
Yeah.
Back in the 90s. But he did leave Commerce with a state championship before taking over at Trinity.
That 94 to 97 run by Sealy is arguably one of the best, 63-1 during that period. 4 state titles along the way.
There's Anderson over the middle. The Marquise Sandals Streaking right over the middle. Good pass from Trey Anderson. Brian Nance on the stop for Trinity. A 19-yard gain for the Oilers.
Well, Sandals kind of running that skinny post route. You see that he doesn't get too far in the middle where the safeties can tee off on him. So he stays outside the hash, and give a lot of credit again to Trey Anderson for standing there in the pocket and putting that ball on a line. And that's exactly where these receivers have to catch it before they take a shot. Great job by the quarterback.
There's Anderson over the middle. Good coverage there in the secondary from Trinity. Eliu Moakiola right there on the coverage. Right now, let's toss it down the sidelines. Check in with Ahmad Brooks.
Thanks, guys. I'm joined here by Cliff Odenwald, of course, the athletics director for the UIL. And all I can think about is this beautiful venue that you're playing in, but also the fact that you moved it to one site. Let's talk about that and why you chose to do it here.
Well, number one, Cowboys Stadium is the best stadium in the world. You've got the Super Bowl, the Big 12, you know, the Cotton Bowl. You've got the Cowboys home field. What a better place to host high school football for Texas.
How do predetermined sites come about, or what is that process like?
In October of last year of 2009, the Legislative Council approved that all the games would be hosted at predetermined sites. Before, we just had the 5A games. Now all conferences will be played at predetermined sites.
I can only imagine the first time I played in Texas Stadium as a college football player, the thrill and the excitement that I had. What about these kids coming in here for the first time to get a chance to play, of course, where they see some of their idols play?
You know, every time they come out, their eyes are so big, they get the cameras out, they want to go to the Star. It's just incredible. The locker room facilities, Cowboys Stadium has been such great hosts. Bruce Hardy played a big part of this, the Jones family, so it was a great collaboration between everybody.
I got to put the pressure on you before we let you go. Is this here to stay?
Well, the championship committee will determine the next site, and they'll meet in January to February to see where it goes next year. There's a good chance it could come back to Cowboys Stadium.
I must say the UIL doing an excellent job all day long. Of course, the athletic director of the UIL, Cliff Odenwald, we appreciate you. And we appreciate you guys. Back to you up top.
All right, Ahmad, thanks. Thanks to Cliff as well after a holding penalty. Pearland picks up the first down now at the 33-yard line. 3:18 to go here in the first half. See the possession and the yardage for Pearland. Slow start. Those first two could manage only 12 yards, but they've made some adjustments, Shane. Their next two possessions after that, over 100 yards of offense.
And definitely not known as a passing team, but very effective. Trey Anderson, again, and they're not making the big passes that are long bombs down the field, but what they're doing, making precision passes and kind of loosening up that defense.
Passes complete. Marquise Sandals again. No, it's Dustin Garrison instead. They'll mark it inside the 20-yard line, around the 22-yard line. Jimmy Granberry with the covers there for Trinity.
Well, again, you see Trey Anderson looking downfield, throws a nice ball out to his running back so Garrison can maneuver just enough to pick up the first down and move the chains. And again, we're talking about not big down deep balls, but just kind of that short to intermediate passing game. But Trey Anderson doing a nice job of locating the receivers, looking off defenders, and putting the ball in those spots. It's like Euless Trinity is going to call a timeout before the snap.
Timeout, Euless Trinity.
The Trojans take the timeout. 3:11 left to go here in the first half. Hey, coming up at halftime, presented by Ford, Rick Ritter and recruiting expert Randy Rogers. They will be joined in studio by Coppell head coach Joe McBride and much, much more, plus a lot of highlights to pass along as well. That's the halftime show coming up here in a few minutes. Steve Lineweaver and the Trojans will talk it over here. Well,
that's true dedication.
That took some time to get ready for that outfit, right?
That is fan
I mean,
support
you just don't walk in and throw that on. That you got to give that time. And I think when you're wearing that much, you can't really move around very much.
I tell you what, though, you think about it, and we've had the good fortune to be witnesses to a lot of these Trinity games over the past handful of years, and certainly through their championship runs in 05 when they beat Converse Judson 28-14, again Judson in 07, a 13-10 win, and of course last year the 41-38 overtime thriller against Austin Westlake. You won't find a more passionate, more fervent supporter of your team than the Euless Trinity Trojan fans.
With the numbers on Trey Anderson, 6 of 10 for 73 yards. First down and 10 now for Pearland. And Dustin Garrison picks up 3 yards on that carry. Stopped by Enoch Pipa.
Yeah, tough running right here. Garrison, again, not the biggest of backs, but you see him keep bouncing it out to the left. And it makes a wise decision, actually. Instead of continue to try to bounce, he realized that it was going to be futile to do that, so he just kind of ducks his head and gets what he can. And that's the mark of a good running back. Again, we talk about the other things that he does so well, spinning off to score the touchdown, but making sure that he's picking up positive yards every play.
2:30 and counting here, first half. Trey Anderson over the middle. The pass is complete. 15-yard pickup. That's Sam Okawachu.
Now take a look.
Big hit, but he's
take a look at the play
5.
fake right here. Look at Trey Anderson sell the play fake, hold the linebackers in, and then he zips a bullet out to Okawachu, who takes a wicked shot down to the lower body, lift off and made a great catch, and it's another fine job of Trey Anderson.
Yeah, shot right
executing the
left
offense.
Garrison trying to get outside and turn the corner, and he does. Dustin Garrison in from the 3-yard line.
Very rare that you will see a running back like Dustin Garrison give up ground. Hear that hit as he's going into the end zone.
Ran right into Jimmy Granberry and sent Granberry to the turf. Big run from Dustin Garrison. Now 10 carries for 59 yards. Dylan Nowak. The point after is up. The point after is good. First lead of the ball game for Pearland after trailing 7-0 in the first series. They are feeding Dustin Garrison with 2 touchdowns here in the first half. There's the scoring drive. 10 plays, 78 yards, 3:19 of clock time, and Dustin Garrison finishes with a 3-yard touchdown.
And finishes is the operative word there as he lowers his head again. Not often that you'll see him give up ground, but he did just a little bit, ever so little, around the 5-yard line, boated out, and then once he got to the apex, he just goes straight downhill, lowers the shoulders, lowers the head, runs over Jimmy Granberry to get into the end zone and put his Oilers on top.
It was a series full of great plays, and I guess the key play, the one right before that Trey Anderson did a good job of selling it and found Okawachu there inside the 5-yard line.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I'm really impressed with Anderson. Again, this is not a throwing team. It's not like they practice throwing the ball a lot down there in Pearland. And Trey Anderson, so far in this game, has been making good play fakes, good ball fakes. And when you do that, and then you have success putting the ball on the numbers of your receivers and they're making catches downfield, it makes those linebackers have to respect that, and they have to play a little bit deeper, which then in turn opens up the running game. Generally, you would think that this Pearland team, Randy, they would set the throwing game, set that up with the running game. But tonight, because of the defense of Euless Trinity being so stiff, they're having to loosen it up a little bit with the throwing game, and so far so good.
Kick is fielded and taken there at the 35-yard line. Again, whenever Pearland kicks, they are staying far away from Brandon Carter. So good field position once again coming up for the Trojans with 2:05 left here in the first half.
You can certainly see the wisdom in kicking away from Brandon Carter. I mean, the guy makes people miss. He'd be tough to tackle in a phone booth.
He's on his way to Oklahoma. Where Bob Stoops is wondering how he can put him to work.
I'm sure he'll find ways to use him.
So 2 minutes to go here, first half. Little trickery. Here's Brandon Carter again. Feeling pressure. Eludes 2 tacklers for Pearland. Gets a good block. He makes something out of nothing. How about that?
Well, second time tonight that we have seen this Euless Trinity offense try to go with a little bit of trickery and a pass off of a reverse, and not working because the secondary staying at home, but Brandon Carter kind of making something out of it on his own, and we've got a Pearland defender down.
Find out who's down on the field right now. He's being attended to by the Pearland trainers. I believe that's Chris Alexander. I believe it is, right tackle for Pearland. He's a junior.
Well, and he's a stalwart on that defensive front. 15 tackles behind the line of scrimmage coming into tonight's game.
See if he could shake that off. See if they get him back out there. 5'10", 225-pounder Chris Alexander. All right, Tucson on the reverse will keep it. Shakes a tackle, picks up an additional 6 yards. Terrence Tucson. Pickup of 7.
Like Kautai in that quarterback position as he goes under center. Just a speed sweep to Tucson, but I'm telling you, you can see how difficult. Not a very big guy, 5'11", 153 pounds, but man, is he elusive, and he runs with more power than you would think for a guy his size.
Lahi Kautai back out there. This time dumps it off Brandon Carter. And he is shoved out of bounds by Daquan Roberts. Kautai's out there. He does a good job of managing this Trinity offense. Threw for 582 yards, 4 touchdowns this year, rushed for 124. Only 2 interceptions, so he doesn't make a lot of mistakes when he's out there. 9 yards on that pickup. Brings up 2nd down and 1 now. Minute 13 to go here in the first half. Pearland leading Trinity.
Oh, Brandon Carter put the ball on the ground.
Carter had it, and Pearland's going to recover. That's Sam Okawaku pouncing on that football.
Well, Brandon Carter, Randy, goes under center. Takes a snap, looks to his left, then bangs out. He'll start running down to his right side, just not able to hang on the ball. A helmet gets on it, and how about Sam Okawachu coming back in after making the catch down on the goal line. Oh, man, and just go back. Great camera work, guys. Chris Alexander limped off the field a couple of plays ago. Comes in, never gives up on the play. He's on the ground, Randy, and he reaches up with his hand and swipes the ball out of Brandon Carter's reach, or grasp. Reaching as far as he could, and Okawachu falls on the fumble. That's great hustle by your front four. That's kind of the never-quit mentality that you would expect out of this Pearland defense.
So, minute 7 to go. Pearland hoping to get something out of this. As Dustin Garrison again with the carry. Take another look at this fumble here and the effort and the hit.
Right here, he's down. You see the right hand, the paw sweeping through by Chris Alexander. Kept his eye on the ball, and then Okawachu, man on the spot, but the individual effort to make that play was enormous. Those are the kinds of plays that your team needs to keep you in games and win championships.
35 seconds and counting here. 2nd down and 7 for Pearland. Garrison trying to turn the corner. Not much going there.
Well, that's a couple of plays, Randy, 2 in a row actually, where we have seen Dustin Garrison look like he's running full steam ahead, and he meets the black jerseys and he gets turned around and bounced back the other way.
Brian Nance on the stop there, along with Andre Young for Trinity. They will let the clock wind down, and they will happily take a lead to the locker room. Pearland down early, 7-0 after that big early strike on the first series from Tevin Williams, that 55-yard touchdown. But Pearland has responded and held Trinity to just a field goal since then, and they'll take a 14-10 lead to the halftime break. Right now, down to the sidelines, let's check in with Ahmad Brooks.
We're joined here by head coach Heath, as his team has had to weather the storm. Coach, I know you got a lot going on, but you weathered the storm. How was your team able to fight back and get yourself into this ball game?
Our kids, they came here to play 48 minutes. They didn't come to play just a half or a quarter. We're here for 48 minutes. We're going to be here for 48 minutes, and we're excited about going second half.
Your team has taken out some of the top teams in the state of Texas. Today you're trying to take out the top team in the nation. How do you do that in the second half?
You do it one step at a time, one play at a time, and hopefully good things will happen second half.
We'll take a break right here and go back as we'll be joined by Rick Renner, Randy Rogers, the recruiting analyst and expert, and last but not least, Mr. Joe McBride, the head coach, of course, of Capel. Guys, you don't want to go anywhere. Stick around. State football from Cowboy Stadium coming up next.
Please welcome the nationally award-winning Pearland High School cheerleaders. Sophomore and NCAA All-American Patrice Haley. Sophomore and NCAA All-American Alexis Gray. Junior Shelby Royce. Junior Kinsey Poso. Junior and NCAA All-American Cassidy Morton. Senior Summer Danley. Senior and NCAA All-American Madison Cervantes. Junior NCAA All-American and Communications Chair Nikki Banagauer. Senior NCAA All-American and Co-Captain Ashley Adams. Senior NCAA All-American and Head Cheerleader Esmery Vinter. Junior and Co-Captain Brittany Bort. Junior NCAA All-American and Secretary Kaylee Counts. Senior Amber Carolinas. Senior Megan McDaniel. Junior and NCAA All-American Jacqueline Fatorni. Junior and NCAA All-American Macy Joe. Junior Samantha Hines. Junior Mercedes Gomez. Sophomore and NCAA All-American Brooke Warsack. And our mascot, Rocky the Roughneck. The cheerleaders are coached by Melissa Williams. Now entering the field are the outstanding and nationally acclaimed Sweethearts of the South, the Pearland High School Prancers. The Prancers are under the direction of Miss Libby Franklin and Miss Jill Perry. The Prancers are led on the field by Junior Lieutenant Michelle Mack, Junior Lieutenant Devin Ryan, Senior Lieutenant Kelly Poole, Lieutenant Colonel Julia Harkness, and Colonel Kristen Schultz. Social officers are Secretary Brittany Smith, Treasurer Clarissa Miller, Historian Courtney Roberts, Vice President Morgan Schiller, and President Chelsea Thompson. The Girl of the Week is Kristen Schultz. Tonight, the Prancers will entertain you with a pop routine to Jingle Bell Rock. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field the pride of Pearland, the Pearland High School Marching Band. The band is under the field direction of drum majors Candace Fiedler, Melanie McGinnis, and Justine Lindsay. The band would like to wish you a happy holiday season and invite you to stand up, sing along, and cheer on your Pearland Oilers. And now, Trinity fans, to begin your halftime and holiday entertainment, here they are, your favorite dance team, the Sweethearts of Trinity High School, the award-winning Trinity Trojans. The 2010-2011 Trojans dance officers are Senior Lieutenant Katie Owens, Senior Lieutenant Tiffany Cheney, Co-Captain and Officer of the Month Holly Surridge, and Captain Kelsey Bjornley. The social officers are President Tony Tavaravich and Emily Coors. Trojans of the Week are sophomore Caitlin Zapalado, Deonesty Johnson, junior Aisha Gergo, and senior Alexis Smith-Dale. Trojan of the Month is senior Kirsten Thomas. Trojan Teachers of the Week are Jason Caruso and Margie Watson. The Trojans would like to dedicate this performance to our team managers, Ilkson Kermizzi, Holly Atkins, and Amanda Tatro. This evening, the Trojans perform a pom routine to the heart of rock and roll. Ladies and gentlemen, the Trinity Trojans. Now entering the field for your continuing halftime enjoyment, please welcome under the field direction of drum major Samuel Park, Marie Custide, Landon Oster, and Tina Soon, the award-winning 2010 Trinity Trojan Marching Band. The marching band is under the direction of directors Mr. Mario Casanova, assisted by Mr. Mike Moran and Mr. Sean Woolman. The color guard instructor is Mr. Roland Garcia. The percussion tech is Mr. Maverick Peterson. As the band moves into the double T formation, we would like to recognize 9 outstanding members of the Trinity Band who will be competing in the area band audition on January 8th. These members are Miles Blakemore, Garrett Blood, J.R. Gilley, Chris Hadley, Amy Marsh, Anthony Merrick, Sam Park, Jesse Rodriguez, and Corey Royce. Congratulations to these wonderful musicians. We wish you all the very best. Now, please sing along with us as the band performs Grandioso. In the spirit of the holidays, the Trinity Band would like to welcome, straight for the North Pole, with his big ho-ho-ho, Mr. and Mrs. Claus, assisting the band as they perform that Christmas time favorite, Jingle Bell Rock. Let's hear it for the Clauses. All right, Trojans, on your feet, it's fight sign. Trinity Band would like to congratulate the Pearland Marching Band for a long and successful marching season. Finally, the Trinity Band would like to thank you, the fans. We have enjoyed performing for you throughout this football season. Thank you again, and good night from the Trinity Trojan Marching Band.
23 receiving.
Dum, dum.
And for anything of note for Carter? Hey, Alex, anything new? Oh, okay. Huh? Yeah.
Hey, what's wrong with you? We get ready to we get ready to throw down.
Garrison 12 for 65, 73 receiving, 98 all-purpose. For Garrison, I don't really have numbers on.
Yeah, hang on a minute. I gotta. Trey Anderson. All right, hang on. Hey. Come on, Nugachoni. Get your game face on.
Get out there and play. You got 1/2 left.
Garrison and Brandon Carter, right?
Yes.
Yep. Welcome back, Cowboy Stadium in Arlington, getting ready to start quarter number 3. Pearland leading the Trinity Trojans 14-10. Randy McAvoy and Shea Walker with you as we get ready for the second half. And looking back at that first half, they were down early after that first series, but Pearland responded. They made some adjustments and some holes open for Dustin Garrison in that backfield.
Well, and I really think, Randy, that you have to put that on the quarterback, Trey Anderson, for Pearland, because as he started maneuvering and throwing the ball, that opened up the running lanes for Garrison. And really not a big guy in stature, but certainly he can make the moves in the open field, and he runs tough for his size. And you know, it really made the difference, I think, for him was getting just a little bit of relief and softening up those linebackers by Anderson putting the ball down the field. But he had a heck of a first half to Dustin Garrison.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns for Garrison, accounting for both for Pearland so far in the first half. You look at Trinity now, and Brandon Carter, they've mixed him well. No surprise there at wide receiver. They brought him in at quarterback, and he's done some damage in both positions.
Well, he's the kind of guy that you just have to be aware of at all times. You can never take your eye off him. He draws 2 defenders in early as he pitches the ball out to Tevin Williams. Tevin takes it to the house for the first score of the game in big acrobatic fashion. But Brandon Carter's the kind of guy you cannot go to sleep on him. He's just so elusive and so dangerous, gets out of bad plays, makes a lot of good things happen for that Trojan offense.
14-10, Pearland leading number 1 Trinity right now. Take it down to the sidelines. Joe Gump standing by with Steve Lineweaver.
All right, Randy, thank you. I'm with Coach Steve Lineweaver. And, Coach, making it to this level of the playoffs, obviously the state title game, you go through many different scenarios. And one of those is trailing at the half, and which you've done the last 2 games. So did you tell your team anything different, considering this is the title game?
Well, we said, I wish you hadn't done this again, but here we are. And we just got to make a stop right now and then get the ball back and really not change much. We just feel like we've just been inches away on defense and offense. Don't change the plan, believe in it, and keep going.
All right, Coach, we appreciate you stopping by. We look forward to the second half. And, Randy, let's remind that they actually won those 2 games that they were trailing it, guys.
All right, Joe, appreciate it. 3 consecutive games now. Trinity has trailed at the half, but they've rallied to win. In the quarterfinals, they trailed Coppell 30-21. Of course, they won on the last play of the game, 41-40. And in the semifinals, they trailed Stony Point down 17-14, and they won 28-24. Mishandled that snap on the kickoff. Fortunately, Daquan Roberts will pounce on it. And Pearland will start off on offense here. Let's take a look at the State Farm first half possessions for Pearland. Of course, rough start those first 2 series. Just 12 total yards, and then they responded. 7 plays, 79-yard drive, 10 plays, 78 yards, both resulting in touchdowns by Dustin Garrison. So here we go, starting the second half, 5A Division I championship. These teams have worked hard to get here. Let's see how it all finishes up. 14-10 Pearland lead as we start the second half. Trey Anderson out to Dustin Garrison. Hoping on that stop there for Trinity, number 73. Sione Fay now. Here are the numbers now for Trey Anderson, 8 of 12, 90 yards in the football game.
Yeah, you see that 8 of 12. That's been big. He's been extremely accurate with the ball. And again, as we talk about Randy, softening up that Trojan defense.
Here's Anderson over the middle. Takes a hit, though, from number 6. That's Jonathan Yinga. He's laid a few of those today. Making the catch, though, is Marquise Sandals for Pearland.
And Cisco Leota also dropped a little bit of lid on Sandals, but hangs on to the football and makes it a much more palatable third and short.
Sandals has been active tonight. Quiet night from Miles Knights. On the offensive side. On 3rd and 1, Garrison picks up the first down. Enoch Pipa with the stop for Trinity.
Well, a good job by the center of that offensive line, Derek Hoffpower, Bobby Johnson, and Furman Sanchez doing a nice job of creating a big enough seam. And we talked about Dustin Garrison, not a really big guy, but a very explosive back. Doesn't need a lot of room. Give him a big enough crease to pick up the first down.
First and 10 now from the 27-yard line. In Trey Anderson. Fires to the 30-yard line. Extra yards from Vincent Ortiz. Pounces forward about another 4 to 5 yards. That's a pickup of 8 to the 35-yard line.
VJ doing a nice job of going down there, setting up in the middle of that zone defense, squaring up and just showing the numbers to the quarterback. Trey Anderson going through the progression, picks him up on the second read, and as he lets the ball fly, picks up 8 yards. A very effective play again for Pearland on first down.
Hand off, Garrison. Not much there. Andre Young in on the stop. Also, Sione Leitu on the stop for the Trinity Trojans.
Nope, just needing a couple of yards, but Andre Young gets a great push. He's back in the backfield, and Dustin Garrison really nowhere to go. May have even lost a yard.
Third down and 2 now for Pearland. From their own 35-yard line. First series, second half here in Arlington tonight. Pass intended there for number 17, Vincent Ortiz. Good coverage from Enoch Pipa. Got a hand on it, nearly picked off.
Good coverage, great coverage. Runs right under the hip pocket of the receiver. Enoch Pipa, see him getting that hand out, making sure that it's not going to make it to its intended target, VJ Ortiz. It's a nice job of the linebacker recognizing the route that was being run, coming up underneath it to ensure that he was going to force a fourth down.
So 4th and 2 for Pearland. Quick hit from Trey Anderson inside the 30-yard line. Excellent bounce near the 20-yard line, and that's where they're going to mark it down. Quick kick from Trey Anderson, 45 yards on that punt. Good job by Anderson on that. Take a look now at the State Farm possessions. Look at how Trinity got the job done in the first half. That first series, 3 plays, 62 yards. Of course, 55 coming on the touchdown run. Tevin Williams. And then held to a field goal the rest of the way in that first half. How big is this first series, Shea, for the Pearland defense here in the second half?
Well, you know, I think they have a lot of confidence, Randy, after the first half and what they were able to do after those first couple of possessions. And they've been stringing out plays as they just did on that one. Kendall Ehrlich making the play there on Terrence Tucson, excuse me. But you know, one of the things that they've done is they made the adjustments. I'm almost thinking that they've slowed the game down just a little bit. Seemed like at the beginning of the game they were overrunning the plays, a little hyped up. And the running backs, especially Tevin Williams, was able to make a lot of guys miss in space, and overrunning the plays, what they seemed like they were doing. Slowed things down just a little bit. Mark Knot's making some defensive adjustments there and kind of bottling up this Trojan offense.
Brandon Carter keeps, fights his way just past the 20-yard line. Sam Okawachu with the tackle for Pearland, along with Juan Trujillo. Third down and 10 now for Trinity. Carter looking, pass to Daniel Dorsey. Just off the mark. So 3 and out for Trinity. Pearland defense will hold.
That's one of the things that'll drive you crazy as a head coach. You see Steve Lineweaver and, of course, offensive coordinator Chris Jensen dialed up the perfect play, not able to execute on third down. As you said, Randy, forcing the punting situation. It should be good field position for Pearland.
Good coverage there by Trinity on the punt coverage. We'll mark it down about the 41-yard line. And on that note, we'll go to break. 7:18 to go, third quarter. Pearland takes over, leading 14-10. The UIL State Football Championship is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Check out the 2011 Ford F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. By Academy Sports and Outdoors, the right stuff, the low price, every day. By DQ for the best tasting treats, eats, and drinks in Texas. DQ just tastes better. And by Right Guard, proud supporters of Texas high school football. Santa making an appearance here at Cowboy Stadium in Arlington. Making the rounds. He's got a lot of fans to take care of tonight, doesn't he?
Oh, he does. Yes, he does. Well, Randy, after Pearland muffed the kickoff to start the second half of the game, picked up a little bit of yardage, punted the ball away, but then they forced a 3 and out, which now gives them pretty good field position.
Right now, let's toss it down to the sidelines. Check in with Joe Gum. Joe.
Well, guys, what in the world are these guys thinking? No shirts on. It's 43 degrees outside Cowboy Stadium. Well, I think they're thinking they want to be the Academy team behind the team. This is Devon, Dre, and Nick. Devon, this was your idea to paint your chest. What'd your parents think about that?
They didn't care. They just thought I was crazy for a minute because they knew how cold it was going to be, but we just decided to go with it anyway.
Now, Devon, he called you. You said, hey, I'm with it, man. I'll be the H.
Yeah, he told me because it was his birthday, so I did it for his birthday present.
Let's go back upstairs real fast, guys. They're Academy team behind the team, guys.
Yeah, big strike right there to Sam Okawachu for Pearland.
He's used to making big catches in big games. Again, as we said earlier, Randy, Okawachu is a guy that put the final dagger in the heart of the Katy Tigers, and he strikes big here on the second down play for the Pearland Oilers.
54 yards on the touchdown.
Sam Okawachu, they caught the defense napping. Runs down, you see that. Oh,
you see the offensive line just standing there.
An easy pitch and catch for the touchdown. Man, it's a great play. That's one of those things that you work on, you prepare, you hope you get a chance to use it, and when you use it, you hope it works.
All right, when we come back, we're going to break. We'll take another look at this touchdown. You want to see this again for sure. Sam Okawachu has Pearland up 21-10 in the third quarter. All right, thank you guys. Appreciate it, Rick. Cowboy Stadium in Arlington. Little trickery from Pearland. Check this out.
Randy, take a look. You got all the offensive linemen here. They're looking back at the line of scrimmage. They're not sure. You got the receivers with their hands on the head. Hey, what? I can't hear you. Trey Anderson kind of casually looking down. The only three guys, that are communicating are the quarterback, the center, and Sam Okawachu, who's going to run the go route. Takes it back. Defense unknew. Offensive line just stands still. You only got one guy. It's kind of almost like a sandlot play. And Ukawacho using that big frame. And that was another pinpoint pass by Trey Anderson. And that puts the Oilers up 21-10.
It's almost like you're going through a walkthrough and the guys are just standing there and you're making the play.
You got to believe Tony Heath to talk to the officials and let them know before this game that there was a chance that they would run that play to make sure that they were ready for it. And man, does it come up big for the Pearland Oilers.
Sam Okawachu, defensive end, but stepped up, especially during the playoffs. Had 4 touchdowns during the season. The kick, and they'll take it there around the 30, 31-yard line. Trinity will take over offensively. Down 21-10. 14 unanswered points now by Pearland.
You can talk to any number of teams that the Trinity Trojans have faced in the last handful of years. And having a lead on this team is, albeit somewhat comfortable. You'd rather be leading than trailing, obviously, but this Trojan team is well-heeled in making comebacks.
Brandon Carter in there at quarterback. Terrence Toussaint with the carry. Stop made by Daquan Roberts along with Kendall Ehrlich. Four-yard pickup from Toussaint. 2nd down and 6 now for the Trojans. Look at the average margin of victory for Trinity so far, dominating during the regular season. 42 points. Margin of victory in the postseason, less than 10, 9.6.
Yeah, but I would be the first to tell you, as would Steve Lineweaver, as Terrence Toussaint makes another strong run. They played a murderer's row coming through the playoffs.
No doubt about it. Allen, Coppell, Stony Point.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty tough when you look at some of the top programs in the state of Texas. You meet them along the way on the road to the state championship. That's saying a lot.
Well, Trinity being #1 in the state, and those other 3 teams being ranked in the top 5. So, again, just a very, very difficult road to get here to the state championship game. But they've done what they've had to do. They've won the games, be it the last play, as we talked about.
Prior to the snap.
Against Coppell.
Ball start on the offense. 5 yards, remains 1st down.
Getting into shootouts with the other 2. Round Rock Stony Point made it to the semifinals now. Last 3 years. Check that. Last 2 years. Quarters a year before, and then the semis the last 2 years.
1st and 15 now for Trinity. Brandon Carter all day to throw the football. He's looking deep. And he's got his receiver. That's number 18 for Trinity. Enrique Oquendo. Coverage by Charleston Higginbotham. Great pass, great catch by Oquendo.
Well, when you need your big playmaker to make a play, Randy, is exactly what Brandon Carter did. He bought a little bit of time so Oquendo could get downfield behind the coverage, but then he knew he was going to get rocked as soon as he let go of the ball, but he stood tall in the pocket, threw a perfect pass, and Oquendo comes up with a big-time catch.
Terrence Toussaint fighting his way inside the 5, down to the 2-yard line. Higginbotham on the stop there for Toussaint after a pickup of 6 yards. 2nd and goal now coming up for the Trojans. First catch of the night for Enrique Oquendo. 6 foot, 190-pound junior. One of the many weapons on this offense for Trinity. Toussaint up the middle. Nobody's going to touch him. Touchdown Trojans.
Big offensive front again. You've got Javi Lotui pulling around, and big number 77 making waves inside those white jerseys. Terrence Tucson running tough between the tackles for the touchdown.
Kick is up. The kick is good from Tyler Orwig. Terrence Tucson, 2-yard score, pulls Trinity to within 4. Right now, let's take it down to the sidelines. Check in with Ahmad Brooks. Ahmad.
Guys, you guys are doing an awesome job. And speaking of all the sponsors here who have made this day so wonderful, Right Guard has been a part of that. Tell us about a special promotion you've had going on, in fact, the entire year.
Absolutely. We were so proud to see all this defense here play at the Texas High School Championships. Right Guard is proud to support the defense in Texas high school football. We've been giving away a $500 donation to every school in Texas who qualifies for our promotion, which is to honor the best defensive players every week. And we'll be doing the same thing for the Texas Championship games.
As hard as these players are working, are y'all sliding a bar of deodorant in their locker or what?
I've smelled a few of the players, and they could maybe go for some after the game. So we'll be here to help them out.
Well, with these tough contests that we've seen these last 2 games, they do need Right Guard, and you guys need Texas high school football. Guys, back to you.
All right, Ahmad, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Terrence Tucson on that sideline. Trinity getting some of that momentum back. Still trail, though, by 4. One piece, Shay, that Pearland is missing right now is their leading receiver. That's Miles Knipes. We talked about him at the top. Also, their starting safety. He's been on the sidelines with ice on his knee. His dad, Mark Knipes, is the defensive coordinator. Doing a good job, but Miles Knipes, they need him out there, and he may not be back. Short kick fielded there by Chad Cobb, junior wide receiver for Pearland. And once again, pretty good field position coming up for the Oilers. 4:29 to go here, 3rd quarter.
No, we talked about this Trojan team not blinking, playing under duress. I mean, they have been down to the wire in 3 games so far this postseason, and even through the regular season, they've been pushed a couple of times. But you know, that's what championship teams do. They respond. Hats off to Steve Lineweaver and offensive coordinator Chris Jensen. Let's see if Pearland can answer.
Pass complete from Trey Anderson to Marquise Sandals. Jonathan Yinga on the coverage. Linebacker for Trinity.
It was a really nice job by Sandals, reaching back behind to make that catch. Trey Anderson has been spot on getting the ball to his receivers. That one was just a touch behind Sandals, but still comes up with the catch and picks up about 3 or 4 yards.
That's Dustin Garrison on the reception for Pearland.
Well, nice job by Devontae Simmons coming up to make the stop on Garrison in the open field.
We'd like to welcome our viewers on Fox Southwest who are watching the Memphis Grizzlies game tonight. Welcome to the 5A Division I State Championship. Randy McAvoy alongside Shea Walker, Ahmad Brooks, Joe Gum on the sidelines. 3rd quarter, Pearland leading #1 Trinity. And Dustin Garrison moving those legs keeps that clock going. Pickup of 6 more for Garrison.
Well, Randy, again, you see the patience and the vision and the cutting ability of Dustin Garrison. Keeping those eyes and those shoulders pointed downhill. Makes a few guys miss. Does a nice job of weaving through the defenders to pick up the 1st down.
Garrison had over 40 carries last week in the win over San Antonio Stevens and over 260 yards rushing. There he is again, 8 more for Garrison, tripped up by Alayu Moakiola.
Moakiola comes in low on Dustin Garrison. You'll see as he's here, he's patient running again. You'll see the hand come out on the back of the blocker. Make sure that he misses that first guy, but then the submarine comes up from the safety position, and Dustin Garrison knows he's going to get taken out, but continues to push forward, try to gain as many yards as he can, picks up 8 yards on 1st down.
Approaching 100 on the evening. 2nd and 2 now coming up for the Oilers. And off again. Garrison's got Rimmer on the right side. Shakes one tackle, trying to break free, then takes the big hit. In on number 5, that's Brian Nance. Devontae Simmons also slowing him down, but 9 more yards for Garrison.
I'll tell you what, Randy, coming out in the second half, it looks like Dustin Garrison is getting stronger, running against this very physical defense from Euless Trinity. As he's pushing the ball down, the vision and the cutting ability, he's not lost a step, and he continues to run downhill, even though that side went a little bit east to west, still enough yards to pick up the first down.
See the rushing differential there. Over 200 for Trinity, over 100 for Pearland. Pass is complete. Trey Anderson out to John Gibberman. First catch of the night for the Pearland fullback. 8 yards on that pickup. Stopped by Des Richardson.
Gibberman does another one of those guys on this Pearland Oiler team that plays both ways, contributes on both sides. Good news for Tony Heath and Jeremy Beeson, the offensive coordinator, is that he's only a sophomore.
2nd and 2 now. Handoff by Garrison. He's tripped up around the 30-yard line. That's Enoch Pipa. Right now, let's take it down the sidelines. Check in with Ahmad.
We told you about some of those Pearland injuries that they've been able to overcome. As you see here, Miles Knipes in the black sweats and the gray shirt. He's no longer in the ball game. We saw him with some ice on his right knee. He's out for the meantime. But these Pearland, of course, Oilers are not. Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks, Ahmad. Yeah, Knipes, the leading receiver on that Pearland football team, over 1,000 yards receiving, and also the starting safety, Trey Anderson.
Well, he's definitely a big loss, as you said earlier, Randy. He's also the starting safety. Kind of guy that you rely on to keep that secondary up.
He's a leader.
Well, in the defensive scheme, obviously his dad is the defensive coordinator, but the scheme with that the Oilers run, the 4-4-3, you need that free safety back there to kind of keep everybody on the same page. He's kind of the quarterback of the defense. He'll be missed.
1st and 10. Trey Anderson on that pickup. Have motion here. Looking out to try to find Garrison right there. I don't think Garrison knew that one was coming to him. Stops the clock with 1:02 left here, 3rd quarter.
Yeah, felt a little bit of early pressure.
Yeah, Garrison felt that one was going downfield as he made that point.
Well, the inside receiver looked like he had cleared the linebackers and was open, but Trey Anderson had already made the decision to try to get it out to the running back.
There's Anderson over the middle. Pass is complete down near the 15-yard line. That's caught by Cole Stout, the tight end, and he's met by Jonathan Yinga.
I think Met is putting it a little mildly, Randy.
2 big guys colliding right there. Pick up 8 yards for the Oilers.
I tell you what, as we talk about again, Trey Anderson putting the ball on the numbers, making sure that his guys can catch the ball in those little tight passes in time to protect themselves. But receivers have taken some huge shots from this Trojan defense, but they have held on to the majority of these balls, and it's been a big help to the Pearland offense.
Andre Young on the stop there for Dustin Garrison pickup. Couple of yards near the 15-yard line.
Pretty much a textbook drive right now, chewing up a lot of clock. Still maintaining possession, and Tony Heath like to see a measurement here.
The market just outside the 15-yard line. It's going to be a little bit short there. So 4th and inches coming up for Tony Heath and the Oilers. What do you do? Go for it? You kick it?
Well, he's going to let the time expired, remaining 14 seconds in the quarter. And maybe give himself a little bit of time to figure that out. And you see the Trojan defense, and I don't blame them. After the trick play, they're not going to leave the ball.
Yeah, smart move by staying put. Well, on that note, time runs out in the third quarter. We're going to the fourth quarter. 5A Division I state championship. Pearland leads 21-17. Now word from Dairy Queen, a proud sponsor of the UIL championship. UIL State Football Championship is brought to you by State Farm, proud sponsor of the UIL Championship Series. We'd like to also mention our audio director. A little shout out here to Scott McDonald. He's been here yesterday, all day today as well. And his son Christopher is graduating from the University of North Texas today. Congratulations on that and for all the hard work making this broadcast happen.
Okay, Randy, here we go.
Fourth quarter. We'll begin here. Pearland leading 21-17. Knocking on the door of the Trojans again. 4th and inches. Nice surge forward by Trey Anderson, and that should be more than enough for the first down.
Well, Derek Hoffpower, center, and Furman Sanchez again doing a nice job of creating a seam. Bobby Johnson in there as well from an offensive line standpoint. Trey Anderson just leaning, nudging the body forward. Didn't have far to go.
How about these numbers? But tonight's attendance, 43,321 watching this 5A Division I state championship. What a great turnout tonight. There's Dustin Garrison.
But Brian Nance, middle linebacker, playing the cutback. Jonathan Yenga in there as well as Garrison sprinting out to the right, tries to cut it back in the middle, but ran into a couple of black jerseys, those two linebackers, Nance and Yenga, holding him down to about a 1-yard gain.
He's smiling about it now.
He's like, holy smoke, man, I ran in the middle of that thing. That's what you tell the quarterback, remind me not to do that.
Maybe go the other way next time. All right, 2nd and 8 now for Pearland. Anderson, he's rolling, fires around the 6-yard line. And that's down to Vincent Ortiz.
Oh, the pump fake by Trey Anderson allows VJ Ortiz to kind of roll that curl route one more level. Take a look down here at the bottom of your screen. You'll see it looks like he's covered up in the throwing lane, and he'll bounce it over one more level. when he bounces it over, that puts him in great position. He makes a couple of moves there after the catch, not only to pick up the first down, but to move the chains and put the ball on about the 2-yard line.
Pickup of 10 yards for Pearland. Dustin Garrison in from the 2, 6 more for the Oilers. And here's the extra point from Dylan Nowak. It's up and it is good. And with 10:34 to play in the fourth quarter, the Pearland Oilers aren't going anywhere. Now it's a 28-17 lead. The UIL State Football Championship has been brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Check out the 2011 Ford F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. By Academy Sports and Outdoors, the right stuff, the low price, every day. By DQ for the best tasting treats, eats, and drinks in Texas. DQ just tastes better. And by Right Guard, proud supporters of Texas high school football. There's Dustin Garrison on that Pearland bench. Very productive night at the office for the Pearland senior. There are his numbers tonight. 22 carries for 101 yards, 3 touchdowns on the night. They're smiling on the sidelines right now. Still work to do, though. With 10:34 to go, this Trinity team awfully dangerous, can score quickly. Short kick once again, fielding at the 33-34 yard line by number 18, Enrique Oquindo. So here come the Trojans back on offense. Trailing by 11. Still plenty of time left here.
We got to put another touchdown, sir. We got to put another touchdown.
Brandon Carter back in at quarterback under center. Handoff. I believe that's Tevin Williams. Big yards crossing the 50-yard line into Pearland territory near the 48. 18 yards on that rushing play. Daquan Roberts finally making the stop on Tevin Williams.
Yeah, big opening in the middle of that line of scrimmage. Hadn't been there for a while. Tevin Williams hits it up in there pretty strong. That's a big back.
Total yards this half, Pearland approaching 150 in this half alone. And again is Tevin Williams, brought down by Kendall Ehrlich. 10 more for Tevin Williams. Kendall Ehrlich, one of the junior linebackers for Pearland. Leading tackler on this Oilers football team. 9 yards on that carry for Tevin Williams. Second down and 1 now from the 39-yard line. Sergey Nuke. He's been pretty active tonight as well. Picks up 7, brought down by Sam Okawachu.
You know, Randy, it seems like this Trinity team, when they're pressed, when their back is to the wall, that they know that they have to make some plays, that they kind of come out and they turn it on. And I'm not saying they're not trying prior to that, but it just seems like they get that championship drive back in them. They're hitting the ball up in there really hard, running tough in the middle of the field. We've seen Tevin Williams down for about the 3rd time in this drive, pushing it right between or right over the back of the center. It's a tough run, and it's, you know, moving the chains and just kind of marching down the field. And so far in this second half, we've not seen that offense be really that dominant, but they're starting to flex their muscles a little bit.
Averaging over 10 yards a carry tonight, already at 111 in the ball game. Tevin Williams. Nuque again, crossing the 25. Again, Daquan Roberts with the stop for Pearland. Pickup of 2 yards. 3rd down and 1 now coming up for Trinity. Pearland sideline on their feet, looking for a stop from the Oiler defense. For that play, Steve Lineweaver calls the timeout for Trinity to talk it over on 3rd and 1. 28-game winning streak right now for Trinity.
I don't think you'll get any argument from anybody in the state of Texas that not only should they be ranked number 1 in the state, but you can make the strong argument that they should be ranked number 1 in the country.
Multiple polls out there. They are on the top spot in a few of them. So many good programs across the country. Definitely a respected program in the national scene for what they've been able to accomplish. In-state titles 2005, 2007, and 2009 for Steve Lineweaver's program. Looking for his 4th since arriving at Trinity in 2000. So here we go, 3rd and 1 now from the 24. Running plays to Tevin Williams. He'll pick up several inside the 20 down to the 18, 17-yard line. He gets 6 on that play.
Just tough physical running.
Right up the middle.
Not really between the tackles. It's more like between the guards. Just going right over the top of Dylan Dillard, the center. Javi Latoi and Julius Kautai, the 2 guards. Creating space, making seams. And Tevin Williams, he's a big back, big, strong, powerful back.
Juan Trujillo in on the stop, along with Kendall Ehrlich. 7 more for Tevin Williams.
Oh. Give credit to this Oiler defense, Randy. They're making Trinity earn it. No big plays necessarily, or big scoring plays in the second half.
Meanwhile, a lot of clock is ticking off here in the 4th quarter.
Making them earn it.
Williams again just inside the 10. He picks up 3 more.
And keep in mind now, Tevin Williams was out. He missed the playoffs last year on their state championship run. with a knee injury. You see he's got a wears a right knee brace now, but you saw the athletic play that he made on the first drive of the game en route to a 55-yard touchdown run to put Trinity on the board.
Got 2 Oilers down right now. I believe that's one of them's Daquan Roberts. Let's see who the other one is. Looks like maybe Jake Garner.
Yep.
Outside linebacker. Take a look at it and maybe knock knees a little bit here.
Boy, and that really smarts. Yeah, it's a physical game. A lot of leather flying around. See Daquan Roberts, little ginger. Jay Garner still on the ground getting attention. It looked like he might have taken the worst of that one.
Well, they've lost Miles Knipes tonight. We told you about that. Starting free safety and leading receiver. He's been out since the first half. With some form of knee injury as well. And there's Jay Garner. That's not a good side right there, is it?
Yep, not able to put much weight on it at all. Again, you saw that leg whip when he went in and just really flexed out as he ran into his teammate Daquan Roberts. Jay Garner only a sophomore. Looks like he's in a lot of pain. Hopefully he'll get some good attention there on the sidelines.
Jay Garner, sophomore, on that outside linebacker slot. Turner Glasgow in there now. Tevin Williams again. Space up the middle, down to the 3-yard line. See the flag is thrown here. Let's take a look at it again.
I mean, really just talking about these linemen for Trinity imposing their will. Big backs pushing around. Big lead blockers. Let's see what the call is.
Dead ball, personal foul, offense, dead ball, personal foul, defense, fouls offset, results of the play, first down.
Offsetting penalties there.
That's to make sure that you keep things in check.
That's right. There are the numbers on Tevin Williams. 14 totes for 133 yards on this drive alone. Is he carrying the load or what? 54 yards on this drive for Trinity.
Yeah, I expect to see more of the same.
And he is stopped right there around the 3-yard line. See who's in on that tackle. Juan Trujillo for sure in on that. Somebody on the bottom of the pile.
The Oiler defense. And that's what you call selling out, Randy. And that's a good thing. Getting down, playing low.
Sam Okowachu, the man on the bottom.
Now they went down and made the real athletic play as far as being a wide receiver. Now he's mixing it up down here in the trenches.
Second and goal now for Trinity. Nice fake by Carter, and he leaps in. Does he make it in? Yes, he does. Touchdown, Trojans.
Well, they got a great clearing block by Enrique Oquendo. Comes back on the crackback and creates the space that Carter needs. Take a look at the block right there at the top of your screen, and Carter going aerial to get into the end zone.
Two-yard touchdown for Brandon Carter. The kick is up for the extra point. It is good from Tyler Orwig. And Pearland's 11-point lead now down to 4.
Take a look. You'll see it right here at the top of the screen. Oquendo coming in from that wide receiver position throws just a complete decleater block, allows Brandon Carter to make the corner, and once he makes the corner, that's all he needs to get into the end zone.
So Brandon Carter does the job. Plenty of time left here in the fourth quarter for both teams. 6:12 to go here, fourth quarter. All right, it's now time for the DQ big play of the game. I think it's worth another look at that Pearland touchdown, Shay.
Hey, you talking to me? You talking to me? Coach. What? Sebawachku going deep. Put Pearland up 21-10 at the time.
Don't see that very often, do you?
Well, I tell you, you often see it, though, in these championship games, and we've seen the Trinity offense on a couple of different times go the double reverse pass option. Not had an opportunity to throw it down the field, but trying to make something happen on a little bit of trickery there. And I tell you, the great thing about it is though, it's a thing you work on all year. You work on it all year. Every week in practice, you work on that play. You never know when you're going to use it, but inevitably it comes up in the big games, and it's even a little bit more special when it works, and certainly helped Pearland.
Short kick there, fielded by number 15, Dominic Rabago for Pearland. And it's the Oilers' turn back on offense now. Here are the numbers on Trey Anderson. 16 of 22 for 193 yards and a touchdown. Again, threw for 2,700 yards this season. 24 touchdowns, 4 interceptions.
Randy,
So
talk
as
about
much
the
attention as Garrison got, yet Knipes over 1,000 yards in that receiving corps.
Well, he's got 2,700 yards passing. Trey Anderson does, so effective enough. Oh, there's a flag down. Back in that little deep in the secondary. Gonna go against the defense.
Holding on the defense.
Wow.
Pass intended there for John Gibberman. Overthrown. But the Oilers will certainly take this. In the crowd tonight, 43,321 to watch this one. 5A Division I state championship.
On the defense. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Crowd has been building since the noon game today. Continue to grow into the 4 o'clock game for the 5A Division II title game. And many folks who hadn't had a chance to really see Trinity play, had no ties to either team, came out and saw them.
One of the few times that we have seen Dustin Garrison be that open, right at the heart of the defense, running right at him. Making full speed cuts, made the official miss him as well. And that's the kind of guy you got to wrap up. You cannot tackle Dustin Garrison by hitting him, not wrapping up.
16 yards on that carry from Garrison. Great lead blocking from his fullback, John Gibberman. First and 10 now from the 43-yard line. Garrison again will push his way near the 40. Pickup of 2 on the play. Right now, let's take you down to the sidelines, check in with Ahmad.
We've seen a lot of burnt orange, of course, field today, and of course on the field, I know your buddy Garrett Gilbert is down here, but you actually went, of course, to Pearland 2004-2006. What can you say about Dustin Garrison?
Man, he's a great back. You know, he put in his time. He worked hard. I've seen him progress all the way through 8th grade, and just seeing him out here being successful is a joy and a blessing.
What about this crowd? They're so loud, we can hardly hear each other think. What about that?
Oh, man, they're great. They're great. You see our fans, this is our first time in Pearland history that we've been to the state championship game. We have an opportunity to win, and you can see that all of our fans are ecstatic.
Continue Providence to you, Fozzie. Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you, Ahmad. Good to see Fozzie. Had a chance to cover him at Pearland High School. Good career as well at University of Texas. How about this play? How elusive is Trey Anderson here?
Well, looking like Brandon Carter. Oh, my goodness. Looks like he's dead to rights. Jonathan Yenga's put a lot of pressure on him, flushes him out of the pocket. He rolls back to his right and then just weaves his way down, and that was a huge gain for this Pearland offense.
3 plays, 53 yards already on this drive. That was a pickup of 25 for Anderson. The handoff to Garrison inside the 15-yard line.
Now, Randy, when they've had to do it, this Oiler offense has put together some long, time-consuming drives they've been able to do it in a fashion where they're not, other than the trick play, I'm talking about in the long, time-consuming drives that they've had. They've run the ball well. They've thrown the ball efficiently. They've blocked well enough up front to create the seams and doing exactly what they need to do to try to win a state championship.
And no turnovers tonight. You've got to have that when you play a Trinity football team. Second and 8 now. There's Anderson again. He fires, and that pass is complete to Marquise Sandals. And the clock will keep rolling.
They're going to whistle the ball out of bounds.
They will call him out of bounds. Yep.
But listen, that's Trey Anderson again, making plays with his feet, moving around to where he could get outside.
They just reset the chains. Yeah, they called him in bounds. They reset the chains, and the clock is rolling again. Inside 3:30 to go here. First and goal to go now for Pearland. Pitch out, Dustin Garrison. Inside the 5, down to the 4-yard line. What does this say about Pearland? Trinity answers back, cuts that 11-point lead down to 4 immediately on this drive. They answer back here.
Well, you can even go back when it was 21-10 Pearland, the momentum all in their favor. Brandon Carter throws the 50-yard pass to Enrico Aquendo, which set up the score to make it 21-17. Pearland responds with a 15-play drive, Randy, to go up 28-17. Of course, Trinity drives it right back down the field. We've just had a blockbuster fourth quarter. And now Pearland knocking on the door again after another long drive, marching the ball down the field, scrimmaging from the 5-yard line.
Second down and goal now. Handoff to Garrison down to the 3-yard line.
Getting up a little slow after that. Kind of got hit down in that lower leg area. You see him holding the right thigh.
Yeah, he's taking some hits tonight, no doubt about it.
There's a lot of fur flying in the middle, man. And like I said, he's not a big guy. He doesn't take a lot of direct hits, but he's taking a little bit of a pounding.
Under 2 minutes to play here in Arlington. Pearland knocking on the door of the Trojans again. Third and goal, pitch out, Dustin Garrison, he's going to be stopped, and he'll lose a yard down at the 6-yard line.
Steve Lineweaver's all the way out to the goal line, calling for the timeout, using the second timeout of the half.
Eliu Mokiola in on the stop along with Brian Nance. They went left with Garrison, that time they went right, and a good read by the Trojans defense.
So this is what, same song, 5th verse for this Trinity team during the playoffs? Certainly 4th verse. But they have been pushed to the brink time and time and time again. But now the state championship game, desperately trying to save clock after that 3rd down attempt that came up short for Pearland. The minute 41 left on the clock, it's 4th and 5, and you got to believe Pearland's going to kick the field goal. Go up by 7.
Pearland huddling on the sideline. Yep, Trey Anderson will come on back. Looks like they will attempt a field goal coming up. Minute 41 to go. It's a 22-yard field goal attempt from Dylan Nowak. The biggest of his high school career. And that is no good, wide right from 22 yards out.
Nope. Trinity's going to get the ball at the 20-yard line. It'll be up to this Pearland defense to try to hang on to the victory. And again, I mean, my goodness, Steve Lineweaver, he coaches in dog years. All the pressure and these close games, and I mean, it's just right down to the wire. And none on the bigger stage than this one tonight. Yep, they've already used 2 timeouts.
1 timeout left for Trinity. There's Brandon Carter looking for the deep ball. Covers down there by Pearland. Let's see if a flag is down on the play.
No, that was good coverage.
Yeah, good coverage there by Jesse Rayford.
Jesse Rayford kept Brandon Carter again, Randy. He'll show you why he's so dangerous. He drops back. Not a whole lot going on back there, but he's kind of waiting for Rader to clear. But the pressure finally got to him, so he heaves the ball down there kind of in a last-ditch effort and came close to the completion.
Yeah, Rayford got in there with the coverage. Charleston Higginbotham tagging along as well. Rayford nearly hauled that one in, or Rader nearly hauled that one in. 2nd down and 10 now. Brandon Carter crossing the 25 and the 30. He's got space, and he's going to be shoved out of bounds.
Oh, and he's going to get an extra 15 yards. It's going to be a personal foul after the play.
That might have been on Dominic Rabago. Let's take a look at it again, number 15.
Well, Brandon Carter does a nice job of exploiting the defense.
Dead ball, personal foul, late hit out of bounds on the defense. 15 yards, first down.
Well, how about the athleticism? He fields the snap with his left hand because it's often left, but making guys miss, making the run, and you see the shove right there at the end. Can't do that. He's going to draw the flag every time.
Shay, that's the first penalty of the night for Pearland. How costly could this be?
Well, not a good penalty. Never a good penalty, but certainly at this point in the game, not a good penalty. It's going to put a lot more pressure on the defense.
Down to the 35-yard line. Minute 21 to go. Pearland leading Trinity 28-24. Brandon Carter. The intended receiver, Enrique Oquindo. That stops the clock with 1:17 left. Trinity with 1 timeout left. Pearland has 3 remaining. On 2nd and 10 from the 35.
False start. Back it up 5.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense. 5 yards, remain 2nd down.
Trojans with some work to do here. Lahid Kautai back in at quarterback. Shakes off 2 tackles and finally brought down. Somehow he got away from that pressure twice.
Wow. Tell you what, he took 2 big shots. Lahid Kautai, a nice job of hanging on to the ball. Trinity looks like they're going to burn their last time out here. Fakes the handoff. He's looking downfield, but really nothing going on. Marquise Swinton puts the first one to put pressure on him.
Dominic Rabago there on the stop.
Yep. Samawatchku also had an opportunity to get him, but Kautai is able to avoid that and push the ball downfield, but again, forcing Trinity now to use their last time out of the half.
3rd and 12 coming up. The Trojans talking this one over. They are out of timeouts. Pearland with 3 left. lower level of Cowboy Stadium, I don't think there's a fan sitting. Make that the second level as well. Everybody's into this football game. Tony Heath's ball club. No turnovers tonight, 1 penalty. The penalty just came on this drive. The late hit added 15 yards to this drive. Do the Oilers have it in them to make the stop? 3rd and 12 coming up for Trinity. Kautai in there at quarterback. The pitch out. The fake to Brandon Carter. And the Oilers were right on it to stop Tevin Williams. Kendall Ehrlich. Pickup of 1.
Trinity's got to get back on the ball. Not only do they need to make the snap soon, but they've got to get a first down. They need 11 yards. You see the coaches saying, come on, guys, get after it.
4th and 11, clock ticking, 25 and counting. There seems to be some confusion on Trinity's side. Kautai under center.
Looks like Pearland's going to use one of their timeouts. I tell you what, that was a pretty stealth move by the Oilers. Because as you said, it did look like there was some confusion, Randy. And as the players running off the field for Trinity or coming out of the huddle, out to the wide set, the smart thing that Tony Heath did is he let that clock run down. As long as it looks like they weren't in a position to snap the ball, he let the clock keep running. But once they were breaking the huddle and coming up to snap the ball, he wanted to make sure that he had the right defensive scheme in there, so he let that time expire before calling his timeout.
Let's take a look back at last year's state championship. Similar situation for Trinity. We know how it ended. They needed a touchdown, and they got it. And guess who was on the other end? That would be Brandon Carter.
Well, it was 3rd and long in overtime. Austin Westlake had gone down in their first possession of overtime and kicked a field goal. And Trinity was on the verge of maybe having to kick a long field goal, but Brandon Carter bails him out with a touchdown and a state championship. Can he do it again tonight? See out here, this is Brandon Carter. And you can see the defense. You're going to have a guy up and you've got a guy back, making sure that you're going to put as much pressure on him as you can.
Kautai looking for Brandon Carter. Ball is knocked loose with 6 seconds left on 4th and 11. Flags are thrown at the celebration for Pearland, and they'll get them back to the sideline, but the flags have been thrown.
Well, you talk about right to the last second. Last inch. Brandon Carter not able to come up with the catch. And Dustin Garrison back there.
Dead ball. Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Pearland.
First ever state championship.
There was no doubt in Pearland's mind where that ball was going from Lahi Kautai. He immediately was looking for Brandon Carter.
Well, he has made so many plays, big plays, huge plays for this Trojan team. Not able to come up with that one.
Victory formation for the Pearland Oilers. It's over in Arlington. Pearland, your 5A Division I state champions. Let's take a look at this final play again. The coverage. Brandon Carter getting past Dominic Rubago. The pass deflected. Good coverage down there by Pearland.
Well, you've got Dustin Garrison. It looks like going up on that vertical and just flicking it out of the reach where Brandon Carter cannot come down. And that's how close it is. Randy, that's how close it's been for Trinity so many times this year. Last year included in the state championship game. Made the plays that they had to make. No time left against Coppell. Shootout with Round Rock Stony Point.
Winning on the last play against Coppell.
Yes, I mean, this
came down to the wire. This was a team on a 28-game winning streak. #1 in the nation in several polls. #1 in the state. Pearland in the underdog role much of the postseason. And they were okay with that. Matter of fact, they welcomed the underdog role. There's Trey Anderson, the senior quarterback. What a job he did tonight.
Well, I tell you what, probably the most impressive game that Trey Anderson has played in his high school career, one that he'll remember for a lifetime, but supremely efficient. Throwing the short, quick passes, putting them on the numbers to make sure that that he could loosen up that defense, get those linebackers to step back a step or two and have to defend the pass, which allowed Dustin Garrison open running lanes.
And now here's our right guard defensive play of the game. Last play of the game here. Caltech going upstairs to Brandon Carter. And Pearland makes the defensive stop.
Well, you got your best athlete on your team and Dustin Garrison, and your best athlete on the team for Trinity and Brandon Carter.
We'll break our way, but coming up, trophy presentation time for Tony Heath and his Pearland Oilers. They knock off Euless Trinity 28-24 for the 5A Division I state championship. We're coming right back.
See you, buddy. Thank you. Yeah, Merry Christmas to you.
Let's go. Did you see the crowd? Was it awesome? Was it awesome? It was amazing. All right, let's go. Let's get our medals. Number one, baby.
Cannot be
Number
better.
one.
Right here.
Number one.
Pearland Oilers.
Get in there.
Wow. Great stuff.
What do you need? What do you need? Pen? Here. Yeah, I got it. I got one. I got a bucket full of them.
Oh, baby.
See you, Rick. Nah, don't blame me, man. Get out of here.
Coach, guys, man.
You retire that.
Take off that Lamar Crick and put her in.
Put a Pearland in there.
Are we on camera anymore?
We got it. Congratulations. We're getting the ring. We're getting the ring, baby.
Welcome back, Cowboy Stadium here in Arlington. It is over. 5A Division I champion, your Pearland Oilers. First ever state championship in program history. Time now for the fourth player of the game, the built for tough. Take a look at it. Got to be Dustin Garrison. What a night he had, Shane.
Well, small in stature, but man, did he come up with some big plays. Ran extremely tough. Running through guys, over guys, making sure he could score points for his team. And really, when they needed to chew up time and make things happen offensively, he punches through for his third touchdown, which happened to be the winning points of the game. Just an outstanding individual effort there by Dustin Garrison.
Sam Okawachu right there with his medal and his teammates surrounding him.
Yeah, he gets defensive player of the game. He had a heck of a game on that defensive inside.
There we go.
What a crowd there on the field. Pearland Oilers capping off an undefeated season. Trinity Trojans capping off their night, as they always do, with the haka.
Well, and they're doing that out of respect for themselves and their team. Excuse me, and their fans. And Steve Lineweaver runs a great program there, and well deserving of all the accolades that they've had, and certainly three-time state champion.
Presentation of the trophy. Tony Heath will hoist that up proudly. Tony, a member of that Lamarck staff in the 90s, the dynasty staff. He's won some rings before.
Yeah, but I tell you what,
coach,
none sweeter than this one.
Right.
None sweeter than this one.
Mark Knipes is defensive coordinator, also on that Lamarck staff. Several guys on this Pearland staff from the Lamarck days. Tony Heath took over a program that had been struggling 13 years ago. He's brought them to the state semifinals, finally got them to a championship game, and tonight they take care of business against the Trinity Trojans. Lots of picture taken. Everybody's getting their hands on that trophy.
Not only that, but if you look on the Pearland side, there's not a fan that's left the stadium. About a 5.5 hour drive up from Pearland to here.
Yep. Chartered bus, many of them making the trip up. And you see the crowd here tonight, over 40,000. Great turnout from Trinity and Pearland, and then just high school football fans in general filling up this place. The UIL has to be very happy with the turnout, not only for this game, but all weekend. Right now, let's take you down to the field. In the celebration, Ahmad Brooks hanging out with Dustin Garrison.
It is completely pandemonium down here, and this young man is responsible for this title run that you've been on. You and your teammates have overcome some extreme odds. Tell us about them.
I mean, this whole year, everybody's doubted us. They told us we weren't gonna be able to do it. They said we're gonna go 3-8. They said we weren't gonna be able to do anything. We weren't gonna be able to make the playoffs. We weren't gonna beat Katy. But look at us now, we're on top. They said we're gonna be Euless, but look who's number one now, baby, Pearland Oilers.
You sit on top now. Where does this game rank in your historic career?
I mean, it's the best game I ever played, and I love these guys. It's my senior year, and it's a great way to end the senior year. All these guys, it took hard work and dedication since last January, baby. We came in here, practiced, worked our tail off, and we got the victory.
Let's talk about some adversity that you've had to go through. You had to evacuate. You were living there in New Orleans after, of course, Katrina. What has it been to mean that Pearland has adopted you as its son?
Man, it's just great. I mean, these past 5 years, Pearland has been great to me. You know, it was a disaster. I'm gonna give you that. But now it's a blessing. We stay champions, and we're number one.
You don't have to worry about it now. You are the champs. You got the medal to show it, guys. Of course, Pearland Oilers come through. They are the Division I, State 5, 2010 champions.
All right, Ahmad, appreciate it. Dustin Garrison back into the celebration. This one may not end anytime soon.
No, I mean, this is, you know, certainly for the community, and you think about just the way that they had to overcome all the odds, and you talk about that, and you say, wait, what do you mean? They're 16-0. Well, and even though Pearland has made deep runs in the playoffs, Randy, as you well know, they've never been able to get over that proverbial hump. Well, they did that in the quarterfinal round when they beat the Katy Tigers 38-35. And then getting to this game over Madison, San Antonio Madison. And really, when you talk to Tony Heath, he had that level of confidence and that air about him that he felt like his team, if they execute and play well, they can come in and they can knock off the #1 team in the nation. And granted, it wasn't easy. Hard-fought game, big plays, a little bit of trick plays, but they did it. It's outstanding. Congratulations to Pearland.
Right now, back down. Let's check in with Ahmad. I know he's with a happy Tony Heath.
Of course, and as you can tell, he and his wife here. Coach, this has been an incredible run. We were talking to Dustin earlier. You guys have been able to just overcome some extreme odds. Today was perhaps the biggest one. You take out the #1 team in the nation. What are your thoughts?
You know, we overcame extreme odds, but between those guys, they got in the four walls. They never thought of bad odds. They thought themselves as a great football team, and they are. You know, we spoke all week. To be a champion, you got to beat a champion. We beat a champion today, a great football team. Euless Trinity, they're one of the best. But you know what? We're one game better today.
When you start looking at the numbers and big plays that happened in this game, none other than the big touchdown pass where everybody's just standing except the quarterback and the wide receiver who scored there. That was a gutsy call, Coach, and ended up working out for you.
You know, in games like this, you leave nothing in your pocket. And I felt like that was just the time to do it. We've worked on it back. Tried earlier in the year, really didn't know how to do it. I went and talked to a coach over in our district, Coach Hartman. Had him explain it to me during the week. We got it in, and hey, Coach Hartman, that one's for you, baby.
What can you say about all these fans? Of all 3 state championship games, no doubt about it, your fans have been the most energetic. Talk about them and their support for your team the entire year.
Well, I mean, bottom line, we fill the rig up every Friday night. Our fans love kids. Our Pearland loves kids. And these kids to come out here and play with the fans, we feed off the adrenaline that they give us. And, this is a Pearland, Texas win. Pearland, Texas win.
Coach in his 14th year has won the state title. After being in the semifinals 2 years, they are now the state champs. Guys, back to you.
All right, Ahmad, appreciate that. Happy Tony Heath. Great job by he and his staff. Just an outstanding season. And he was right. The fan base is incredible in Pearland. Very large following. And they were here to celebrate it tonight. 28-24 victory over Euless Trinity. Caps off a busy weekend. 3 big games today, 2 more yesterday. This is one site.
Yeah.
What an atmosphere here.
It's been an incredible experience. I think it's been, again, we described the venue, fantastic. Crowning 5 state champions in 2 days at one site is a crowning achievement, I believe, and hopefully the start of something big by the UIL. But certainly when you see the emotion, not just from Pearland, but from the other winners in Carthage. Of course, Jonathan Gray at Aledo had a monster night, and we got to see only the 3rd team in Texas high school history, Lake Travis, winning 4 consecutive state titles. And of course, Malcolm Brown playing for the Cibolo Steel Knights really lugged it out against a very gallant Denton Geyer team. And then now you've got the Pearland Orioles winning their first ever state championship. I don't know how you top that.
Well, it caps off a great day of football, and time to say goodnight. Pearland closes out with a 5A Division I state championship. So happy you could join us tonight. The great players, the great fans that made their way here. These are all the names that made the 2 days possible here from Cowboys Stadium in Arlington. Wall-to-wall coverage. Not only here at the stadium, also back in the studio as well. Covering all the state championships. Appreciate all the help and support. A lot of long hours put in by folks. Saw some outstanding football here. Big night for Mr. Gray in Aledo last night against Lamarck.
The guy who turns in 8 touchdowns, Randy, sets not only a state UIL record, but a state championship record as well for touchdowns in a game and touchdowns in the season.
Denton Ryan and Lake Travis from earlier today. Lake Travis capping off another great season and their 4th consecutive state championship. Only 2 other teams have done that. Lake Travis keeps the streak alive. A lot of great highlights over the weekend. Glad you can enjoy it. Final score for the 5A Division I state championship. Pearland 28, Euless Trinity 24. For Shea Walker, Ahmad Brooks, and Joe Gum, I'm Randy McAvoy saying so long from Cowboy Stadium in Arlington.
All right. Hey, Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Yeah, you can't go nowhere. You're on Fox time. You got old Randy McAvoy time, Channel 2. Oh, good look at that. Oh, yeah. I think it's adrenaline. Yeah, I like this kind of stuff, man. This is cool. Do we need to say anything about teams or individuals or?
How long do we go? And how do we take it and how do we wrap it? Okay. Oh, they're doing is this for their post-game wrap?
Oh,
gotcha.
Crap, you cannot do that, son.
What was Gray's first name for Alito? Jonathan? Yeah.
Tell him to hold on just a minute. Give me like a second.
So we'll take it this generically, you said? Okay.
Kind of what we just did, right? So why are we doing it?
So what do you want to hit on? Lido yesterday, and then get into today. Lake Travis, 4 feet.
Start with Carthage, back-to-back.
Okay, I don't know anything about that game.
Well, no, Carthage is 3. Just say Carthage, 3-8. Just say the 2 games yesterday, and I'll cover Carthage and Alito, and then you talk about today.
Okay.
Turn that thing on, man.
You
Let's
ready?
go. Yeah, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to him.
Okay. Okay. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right, thanks a lot. What a great weekend here at Cowboy Stadium in Arlington. The final of 3 games here on Saturday. We had 2 big ones, Shea. Yesterday, just capping off an outstanding 2 days of high school football state championships.
Well, you go back to yesterday, Randy. The Carthage Bulldogs secure their 3rd consecutive state title in 3A Division II. And then also in the nightcap, Alito, Jonathan Gray, running back, smashes the single-season touchdown record as well as the state game record for touchdowns with 8 in that game, leading us up to today.
Talk about 3 state championships earlier today. 4A Division I, you had Lake Travis doing their thing again. 4 consecutive state championships for Lake Travis. What else can you say about that? They've done it with 3 different head coaches.
Well, that's probably the most amazing thing to me is that they've come in now under Hank Carter. Jeff Dyke has started the thing. Chad Morris carried it on for a couple of years. Now Hank Carter's at the helm, and he brings home a state championship. So only the 3rd team in Texas high school history to achieve that.
5A Division II state championship. Cibolo Steel, the Knights, led by Malcolm Brown, taking on Denton Geyer, and Malcolm Brown showed why he is one of the top running back recruits in the nation.
Well, you can also see why the guys down in Austin are going to be very happy to have him there for 4 years, because the game that he played today, getting injured early in that game in the shoulder, and he's still able to carry the ball. And I'm talking about tough yards. That Denton Geyer defense was outstanding today, but Malcolm Brown was a man, and he kept running, he kept toting the ball, chugging it out, making the hard yards, scored 3 touchdowns, and led his team to a state title.
And in the 5A Division I championship tonight, the Trinity Trojans' 28-game winning streak is now over. They came in number 1 in the state, number 1 in several polls nationally. The Pearland Oilers, though, they were underdogs, but they walk away with the hardware tonight.
Well, they say they embraced that underdog role.
Yeah.
They certainly didn't play like underdogs. They played well defensively. They had the game slow down for them a little bit after the first 2 possessions. But really, Pearland was definitely worthy of winning a state championship. And, you got to tip your hat to Steve Lineweaver and the Trinity Trojans because they've just been outstanding for so many years.
Yep.
Got 3 state titles to their credit. But it just came up a little bit short tonight.
5 games in 2 days for you. Nice job, man. You and Craig yesterday, and you and I had 3 of them today. It's been a busy day, but a fun day to say the least here at Cowboy Stadium here in Arlington. It's all over now. Been a lot of fun. The state champions are crowned. Now we look forward to next year. That'll do it from here. Let's toss it back to you now.